Is Trashley muted?
Are we here? Hello, Stream Queens
Hello?
community, Stream Queens people.
Hello?
Hi. It's the final Friday. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Truly the final girls.
We made it. I'm so excited. This has been a tradition for how many years now? I don't even know. I can't count. I'm not a math gay. But I'm so excited to have Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th with Team Stream Queens. This is a dream come true, as it always is. I want to go around the room and have everyone say hello. We do have the dynamic follow button in case you are following Stream Queens, but you are not following all of our cast right here. You can fix that right now by clicking on the green heart. But let's go around the room and say hello to everyone wanting to see us have fun at Camp Crystal Lake. Carrie the One, hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Carrie the One. So happy to be here. It's been, I think, at least a year since I played this game, so go easy on me. Very excited. I play Overwatch and horror games.
We also have Direct Trashley in the room, and you're celebrating something special, not just Friday the 13th, but what else are you celebrating?
Woo! I just turned 21! And it's my 7-year streaming anniversary.
Yay!
Congrats! Happy birthday!
Yes. I started when I was 16. No, wait, math. What is math?
I don't know math. You could make it up. I would believe you. What about you, Eve L Queen? Hello, welcome to the Stream Queens channel.
I'm Evil Queen. I'm the prettiest bitch you've ever seen. I play Dead by Daylight and TCM, and every time I play this game, I usually get murdered as Jason. So I'm hoping that I don't get murdered as Jason today, because I'll cry.
Oh my goodness. Well, I hope to not make you cry.
Thank you.
I'll never tell.
I'm very sensitive.
What I have a message.
Dola is also here on the back end helping us out. Hi, Doladar. Everyone clap for Doladar.
Wow, hello.
Hi, Dola.
If you could increase all volume except for your own microphone, that'd be great, because Discord's very quiet.
I turned myself down slightly, but I can turn everyone else up as well.
I think that stream overall is very quiet, so I would just increase volume on everything.
Got it. Okay, well, I increased it, so let me know how it is. Thank you, Doladar. Give it up for Doladar. Joystick, hi, hello.
Hi, hello. I'm the diversity hire. I'm kidding. I am Joystick, Twitch's resident drag monarch, because I'm both the king and the queen, radiating Dumbo energy wherever I go. And I don't usually play this game.
Well, you're here now. We also have Gigi in the house. Hello, with a beautiful drink. I love it.
Hello, angels. I'm Gigi. I'm very excited to be playing tonight. I've played like twice before. I'm not the best, but it's gonna be fierce. And I mainly play Valorant and Dead by Daylight.
Woo!
Yeah.
We also have Ms. Kiki Powers.
Hi, I have my lashes on now.
Yay!
20 minutes. We got this.
You did that. You did that. You're amazing.
Yeah. Thank you. But hi, I just came home from work and I've been streaming a lot of GTA RP and Overwatch recently.
Wonderful. And we have Nemesis Network.
Hi everyone, I'm Nemesis Network. I'm trans, iconic. I like to play retro games and have fun and be silly. And I do co-streams of all of the live events for gaming news.
Ooh. Very slay. Thank you. I'm excited to play this with y'all. I'm gonna make a private match. I thought I had to make a party, but I realized I need to make a private match. And I'm going to send you all some invites. And we're gonna get this show on the road. I added you, Gigi. Apparently we weren't besties on Steam yet, but now we are.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
We also have a message from Dola asking you, dear, to turn your mic up a little bit, because now you're a little too quiet.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw that.
Thank you. I will
No, I
do
think
so.
it was fine.
Oh.
I think it was fine, but, you know.
Thank you. Who else needs an invite? Who needs an invite? Kiki? Nemesis? How's everyone feeling on Friday the 13th? Did anyone get a tattoo?
No.
A tattoo.
Yeah, they usually have tattoos on
Like flash things, yeah.
Yeah, like a flash sale.
Oh, cute.
Dang, I've been needing another one.
Sometimes
I'm gonna get one at TwitchCon. Hee
a
hee.
tattoo at TwitchCon.
Hey.
Damn right.
Oh my goodness.
I like to get one every time I travel. So we're gonna be in Vegas, babe. I have to get a tattoo.
Oh, that's gonna be slay.
Can you get a tattoo that says "I love deer" like right on your ass?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Tramp stamps.
But instead of Deer's logo, can it be like the construction company logo?
Not the John
yeah.
Deere.
Yeah.
Joy, are you online?
Yeah. I'm not joystick on Steam. I'm hot sloot.
Oh. Hot loot. Hot. I'm not finding you.
What? Here, let
Awkward.
me join you.
Right click my name. Yeah. And then we just need Gigi. Did you friend me?
Yes, I did.
What's your name? Like Greedy Bottom or something?
No, it should just be Shishi right now.
I don't have you on my list. Can you join me? Can you right click me and join?
I don't have you under Friday the 13th.
Okay, let me see here.
I can restart real quick.
I'm joining Trashleys because I can't find you. Are you invisible?
I must be invisible.
Here, you've been invisible for about
For about
2
5 years.
years.
I'm online.
It's like the last time
I'm
Deer was
online
on
now.
Steam was 2016.
Hot
When I
sleep.
started streaming.
Yeah, on your very first day. And it's been how many anniversaries since then? Oh, I have you now, Gigi. Woo! We did it!
Perfect.
That's half the
Yes.
battle, is getting everyone into a lobby together. And it's only been 13 minutes. Happy Friday the 13th.
Oh, we did that on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This is one of my favorite games. Literally, so much fun.
R.I.P. Friday the 13th.
I
For
know,
real,
I'm gonna
though.
miss it.
Honestly.
Okay,
I think that's how I found the Stream Queens was through Friday the 13th.
really?
Like that's like my first early memory of like Stream Queens existing. Is like
the little
y'all playing that.
the little nights with Friday the 13th. Well, I'm gonna ready up in the game.
I just want to point out everything is unlocked for everyone. All perk slots.
Yes.
All Jasons, all weapons, all kills. So make sure you equip some perk slots at least in your
Yeah, change some lives, do something cool, put something in there. But
in your
whenever we're
victim or
ready,
whatever they're called.
even Nemesis. Take your time.
I'm looking at my perks.
No,
uh,
right.
Sorry,
I'm not
none of my
rushing.
stuff is equipped.
I'm just
And
letting
take your
you
time whenever
know.
you're ready.
Wait, how do you change your character? What? It's been so long. Help me!
I think you go to the character, you click on the character picture, and then you use L
Oh,
and
okay,
R,
okay,
I
okay,
think.
okay, okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
What do we think of this fabulous cast, huh? Make some noise in the chat. Put some running emotes, maybe. I just saw Trashly fake running.
Yes, I was I was at the gym today, so I'm really ready.
Were you working out in your heels though?
Yeah, full drag.
It was just a few minutes ago, actually.
I don't go to the gym for very long.
Oh
It's
my
just
gosh,
to scope out the
why?
people working out. I love it.
Okay.
Who's
You know
going
I had to
first?
play too.
Oh,
Who's gonna be the first killer? Oh,
dear,
my
be
gosh.
nice
It's
to
gonna
me,
be
on
Deer.
Jason.
Oh,
Dear, be nice.
uninstall.
I'm always nice, I think.
No, you're not,
Um,
dear.
What do you mean?
You're sometimes really vile,
Excuse you.
Sometimes?
but beautiful.
Mm. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
I'm nervous.
I'm so nervous.
I got nervy poos. I do.
If you're Jason, you get to play the whole game, so that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You don't
Fair.
unless you're killed.
It's the only way.
Are we doing
True.
in-game voice?
Oh, set to extra
Um,
talk. You go to the
Is it
settings.
V?
It should be T.
Hello.
Tea. Like
Hello.
this is-
Okay.
Hi.
Oh. Who is it?
Oh no.
Oh my God, it's Jason.
Gigi, in the in-game settings, set talking to push to talk. Or toggle.
Is that me?
Oh, it might be me.
I'm the
Oh.
cheating one. Oh no.
Wait, no, I don't
Is
think I
that
picked that
Joy?
one.
Oh my god, of course it is.
Go ahead and
No.
deafen
Joy.
yourself beautifully and sexily.
Is it me? It is
Joy,
me.
be
Okay.
nice.
And guess what? We have a
I can
beautiful
find the others.
asset that Doladar
Hey,
made
bitch,
that
I
marks
start-
Jason on your screens, y'all. It's nice.
Cute.
I start with a bat. I'm ready to fucking bash a brain.
Oh,
I have
no.
immediately forgotten everything I knew about this game, but I do also have a bat.
I forgot how sensitive everything is. Oh my God. Okay, we got
Oh, I have a little pocket knife.
Pierre's already found all
Oh
the
my
pocket
god. It's been so long. I literally forgot how to play this game, and I used to play this all the time. This is so sad.
Well, we're here to help you if you need anything.
I like actually
Yeah.
might need it. I literally feel like a
Open
baby.
drawers. Open drawers.
Oh.
And try to find things to survive.
Oh, I found some panties in a sock.
Make sure
You
you
get out of here,
lock
Carrie.
and
Kiki
barricade
just
the
slammed
door.
the door in my face.
There we go. Everything is good. Everything is
All
nice.
that.
Good luck, everybody.
Alright, I'm leaving.
I'm calling.
Wait,
around.
no, this
Jarvis.
game can't leave. I miss it.
Camp Crystal Lake.
I
Bring
forgot how
that
to
gun.
set
Oh
a
God,
trap.
He's killing us. Help!
Bring every last fucking cop you have to Camp Crystal Lake. It's Jason. He's back.
I'm
Tommy
leaving.
Jarvis
There's nothing in here for
Out of the
me.
animation.
Oh my god, let me in. I
battery.
see you're in here, dear. Let me in,
Where-
girl.
Where the? Oh, hi. Wait.
I'm at the door.
Wait.
I found a fucking pipe.
Wait. Don't move.
Oh,
My inventory slots are gone. Do you all have those?
I'm performing for you.
Sure do.
Maybe because I don't have
Hey,
anything. But I have a
welcome to
bat.
the
Oh,
sexy
okay.
house.
Dear,
Wanna
you're
do a
muted.
spin for you? Oh, I'm muted.
And also, you have to quiet on the stream.
Kiki, there's a door you could have used, girl.
You know,
wait, how do you punch someone? I'm asking for my friend. I don't want to punch you, dear. I'm so sorry.
Please
Are
hold.
you on a controller?
Yeah.
All
Your
F4.
right trigger.
Not all
Please,
F4. You're
Eve.
sick.
I would fall for that. Don't do that.
I know. I literally
Wait.
don't know how to play, and you're like, wait, let me trick them.
/log in Overwatch, especially.
Delete system
Please.
32.
I'm like, I'm
Am I
using my
still
third eye to
muted?
look around.
Am I muted?
You're
No.
dancing.
Thank you.
You
for
are no
noticing.
longer muted.
I don't know what I did.
I found a
It's called
cassette
streaming.
What was that you
Get
just picked
into
up?
it.
Kiki?
I found a map.
Oh, I found so many
Also, please
firecrackers.
make yourself louder on the
Well, I'm gonna
stream.
keep
Thank
following you
you.
then.
Me?
Yes, you dear.
Okay.
Is that a dead body?
Is that a dead body?
I
Someone
want to
heard that.
dance.
Wait,
Perfect. That should be
Do we
louder.
know if Joy is good at this game? Should we be
I
afraid?
think
The fact that
they
I've been
are.
standing here dancing
Oh,
while
they're right there!
fixing
I've
a few
got to
tech
go.
issues
Kiki, get out of here
might
and help me.
might
Where's
shed
my
some light on that.
items?
Kiki!
What he came from?
Oh, points.
yes, Carrie?
Okay.
Come save me with your firecrackers.
Oh, I'm just walking casually. Oh,
Oh, well, that's what you get for not helping me. Now look what
Wait, is
you've
this a...
done.
I found the trap. Oh, wait.
Okay. Hopefully everything is okay now. Y'all can hear me, right? Correct. Hi.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
Thank you. Thank
Oh!
you for
Oh my
holding
God.
the
What's
line
that?
and Fix some issues. Woo.
Oh, Kiki, are your pockets too full now?
No, I just...
She's got firecrackers to spare.
Who's smart
I
at
got fire.
cars? Is anyone smart at cars?
I am, but I'm dumb at running in the dark.
Oh gosh. Nemesis
Oh, right,
is also dumb
flashlight.
at cars, I fear.
I have got to go.
I'm just
Don't
gonna
you
put
trap
that
me.
there.
I have a gun.
Harry, watch out, I'm putting a trap and not by a door.
I just went in here. There's nothing in there, Trashley.
Magic.
What are you doing, Nem?
I have a gun
That's really
and
nice.
big tits.
Wow.
Why didn't you lock it and barricade
You
it?
do it all.
What's in here?
Oh my gosh.
There's an axe on the table.
Ooh, that could be nice.
I
found a
cannot be the
deck.
first to
There's a deck
find.
here.
There's a walkie-talkie, but we don't need that. Okay.
There's a stick.
My
what?
God.
A stick. I'm gonna take this.
Leaving the doors wide open.
I thought this was a classy party.
Were you born in a cabin that wasn't being hunted?
Yes.
Is Joy doing okay?
Oh, I have the keys for this car.
Joy is on my ass and
Oh
they
my.
will not stop.
Okay,
Who's
then we
that?
just need gas, Nem, and then we can drive out of here.
Oh, Eve.
I found
Okay,
gas.
I'm a really good
I
driver.
found gas.
Okay, wait, isn't the
Okay.
battery in there?
The battery we have to install, and it's bad. It's a bad place.
Get him.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
well.
trying to do this.
Oh, Eve. Oh, wait, no, you hit that. Okay, we're good.
Oh, mama. We're dumb as.
Don't mess
Am
up.
I allowed to curse?
Yes. It's our
Okay.
it's the Stream Queens channel.
Oh no!
do I-
I was
oh!
holding it.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh. You're in mid animation. I can't stop him.
Oh, thank God it
I did the
actually
battery.
fit.
Not okay.
Would you like to drive or can I drive?
I was just fucking.
What would you
murdered.
prefer?
I love driving. It's my favorite.
Okay, how do I
That was
drop
so
the
fast,
key?
too.
Are you on a controller?
Yeah.
Hold down.
I had, like, no time to wiggle.
Oh wait, press down.
Okay, trying to steal my gun too.
Give me the gun.
Okay, I'm a passenger princess.
Oh, no, I'm not.
If anyone wants to be saved in the car, you better get to the street.
I am a guy
It
now.
worked.
Can
Oh,
you
you're
not
just-
drive off without me? You.
Hey, you're Tommy.
And you're sick.
Please get in, Nem. Have
I
some
couldn't get
sense
in when
of
the car was
urgency.
starting, girl. Now you trying to rob me? Can I pull out my gun and hold you at gunpoint in the car?
Oh my.
I died.
Oh, I see a body.
I
Is it
thought
in
I
sport?
could hit him with a bat, but I
Oh,
think I
no,
swung
Nem.
too late.
Oh, you're good. Great driving.
Okay.
5-star.
All
Oh.
set.
Oh.
Time to get out of here.
Well,
See, look, it's fine.
Jason's here.
No.
No, he's with
You
me.
did not die.
I
Okay,
tried
so
to
let's
lure
try
that
not
body.
hitting a tree, dear.
We didn't hit it. Name the tree that we hit. Point it out to me.
You were
I can
literally
see it.
about to go through the trees like
I
we were
s-
playing like skiing or
I
something.
break.
Oh,
I
they're
break.
on me.
Nem, should we just say bye,
Please.
bitches, or should we try to save somebody?
Oh my god, wait, you're kind of sick. This is a 4-person. You just want to leave? Let's leave.
She's right behind me. Oh my god. Oh my god.
How could you? Let's do it.
We could
Not just
try.
taking
to
a
Just
save
remember, there's
somebody.
more games after this.
Let's try to save at least one person.
Well, I have a gun and I know how to use it.
To the street,
I'm
please. I see little
so
arrows
into
on
that.
my
Oh,
map.
I
Street,
see.
please.
Eve came back.
I did come back. Yes.
Oh, there's someone. Don't hit them.
Into the car.
Who
Eve,
is that?
Eve, you're Jarvis. Just get in the car.
Oh, hey. Oh, oh.
Oh, my tits are weighing me down.
Oh.
I thought this was a classy party.
Brenda Repera. No.
Oh my god, this is such a nice car.
Thank you. Should we try to save that
What's the-
person? Do you see them?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another person that could fit.
Please.
Get in the car.
Well, Eve just shot their gun
Get
at
in the
us
car,
for no
Carrie,
reason.
please.
just
I'm
putting that
coming,
out
I'm
there.
coming. I can't run.
It was a
Please,
premature
hobble.
discharge.
Oh my god.
there
You were
go.
testing it out.
That trip gave you a little bit of distance, actually.
It sure did.
Oh my god, are you the girl? You're the girl that watched my best friend die with a baseball bat.
I don't know
Uh-oh.
what you're talking.
Oh.
Uh-oh. I get your drinks out.
Y'all, Millie Bobby Brownham, Millie Bobby Brownham.
Okay, you kind of ate that. You
I
kind of ate that
tried.
though.
I tried.
Wait, no, go through the trees on the right. He will never expect it.
There we go.
Okay, wait, God. Okay, wait, God. Okay, pussy. You got it. Go, 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 go. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Another showdown. Another showdown.
Okay, we got it. We
Oh
got it.
my god.
Okay, we ate that.
Wait, that was kind of fierce.
Freedom.
Yes.
Jason's back.
queen of driving. Hey, I love Eve loading in as Jarvis, who's meant to save the day, and just gets
And then
in a car,
immediately leaving.
shoots the
And
gun
then just
at Nemesis, gets
getting in the car
escapes.
immediately.
Yeah.
My boobs deflected it. It just went, oh.
Time to come home.
Mm-hmm.
I do love this Jason skin.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
is that the one that goes to Manhattan?
I have no idea.
I haven't seen that one. Who knows? Who knows, really? Fun first match. Woo!
Woo!
Absolutely.
And in case any of you stream queens in the call didn't realize, Dola made a little mask icon, and it's going to go on each of you as when you play as the killer. And it's an emote on the channel now, too. It's a follower emote. So y'all in the chat can use the little mask.
Oh, that's so cute.
Ew.
It's really nice.
Production.
Dola made all of our assets today. She made our poster, our background, our name tags, all of it. Very
Dola,
slay.
that's such a cute emote.
Isn't that nice?
Thank you.
The best.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and ready up, and I'm nervous to be Jason.
Dear,
Nervous
I'm
to see
telling you
who-
right now, you need to like play backwards or something. Like turn your controller around.
Why? Use tit
Because you're too
controls?
good.
I don't think I'm that good. But I'm really good at driving.
You are. That was actually so fair. That like reverse maneuver.
Joy, were you slayed? Could you not believe it?
What?
When I was driving.
Oh yeah.
Did it
I
change your
tried to
life?
get in front of you so I can like smash it, but
Mhm.
my Jason's so slow.
Yeah, I was doing the moves. I was doing the moves. I was trying to take it there.
Drag me a bit.
Thank you. Use tit controls. We all use tit controls. Trashly, are you ready?
With my mouse and keyboard, just rest them
Just
up on top.
rest them right here.
Just like lift your breast and drop it on the keyboard.
Just titty smash.
Just hope it's hitting the WASD.
Hope it's titting the WASD.
Please. Of course.
Have you seen that girl who like smashes her breasts on like watermelons and
Yes.
like, crush them?
Yes.
She's
Absolutely
incredible. What an
Goals.
icon. Oh no.
Oh,
Not
I
my
love
friend.
this map.
Is
Oh,
it me again?
Gross face.
Could be me.
That, I think I know who the
Do
killer
I
is.
know?
I think it's me because I got the machete.
I fear
Well,
that it's drag trashly.
Yes.
Mute yourself, queen. Good luck.
See you all as you're running
Be
away.
real.
Hi, Sloot.
Hey.
Trashly, please don't be mean.
I'm sorry, but she's already deafened. She can't hear you any
Oh,
longer.
no.
You didn't fit that in before she left.
She's gonna be mean. She's gonna be mean.
You know she's gonna be mean. That's drag trashly. Oh wow, Eve, you're looking good.
My, thank
Wow.
Oh my god, I found the car keys again. And there's
Wait,
my car
how do you-
keys.
How do you emo?
I don't know how to do it on keyboard. Do y'all know how to do it on keyboard? How to emote?
No.
Nar.
How do you emote on
Someone,
control?
someone tell Trashly to stop being deafened. We need to know how to emote. Oh, a gun. Who wants the gun?
Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's V. Sorry.
It's V. There has to be some gas up here somewhere.
Wait, can
The
we turn
gas-
on the radio?
We
What?
can, yeah.
Huh. Radio.
Who's this?
I'm the woman in the zebra diaper.
How do you turn on your flashlight
It's F.
on controller?
F slur. It's
left bumper.
L1. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
El bumper.
I have
Spanish
the car
for bumper.
battery.
Dear, I'm in my underwear.
Ooh. I'm in my zebra diaper. That's like underwear.
Oh.
I have
versatile
I have
way.
streamer mode on, So the music doesn't play, but I honestly think, you know, this is the final Friday, so. Oh, wait.
Oh. What's happening?
Audio.
Is he here?
Can you get copywritten from the theme song?
Yes.
Hi.
Oh my god.
Progressive dancing.
Oh, that's not.
Run away.
The McGonagall is just dancing.
Not the killer.
Why did you do that? That was so.
Oh my gosh, I found a car battery and the keys. Okay.
I can't believe that Trashly turned off the copyrighted music. She was like, I'm not getting a strike today.
Wow.
Oh my god, just beat the crap out of him. I gotta go.
Beat that bitch. Beat that bitch up.
Oh, I just closed the window.
Eat that bitch with a bat.
Bat.
Trashly just murdered me.
Well. Sorry, Eve.
There's Elise's here. Really
Oh,
leading with
no.
empathy there, girl.
I have to go.
Who's here? Ah!
Is the machete better than the baseball bat?
I'm gonna die.
I don't know.
Hello.
None of us know anything about
Trashly's
this.
talking to me.
Why won't anyone talk to me? Not even a hello.
Trashly,
How are you?
I am a businesswoman. I have lots of
What are you
emails.
doing?
Please leave me in peace at this time. Oh my goodness.
Trashly.
She didn't listen to me.
I would just like to be appreciated. I would just like, you know, to get some acknowledgement, some screams.
I'm
Nobody
trying
did
to
that.
talk to you, Trashly. I have business things to attend to. I don't even know if you're hearing me. Does my mic work?
It's working.
In game?
Yeah.
Hey, over here, Trashly.
I have the
Hiya!
walkie-talkie. I can hear you.
Not hiya.
Why is everyone toxic this much? Really?
Not Trashly. Why is everyone being
Saving for
toxic?
me.
Toxic. She came at me. I had to hit her with a machete.
I just shot her with a flare gun.
I saw, and she did not like that. Oh, I'm calling Jarvis. Eve, you might come back.
Hello?
Thank you.
Hello?
Oh god,
Hello?
help
Oh
us.
god. It's
Jason's real! Please help us! Jason's alive!
Jason's alive.
Please, help us!
Maybe if I had said email my heart, she would have acknowledged me. I said emails and she didn't care. It's like she's never had an email in her life. They're important.
No, no, no.
Kiki,
Kiki, are you all right?
In this moment.
I'm not okay. What?
Nothing left in there, is there?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't
let
see
me in the
anything
window.
in that building either.
Miss Everidge, window.
I'm
Oh.
stupid. I can't fix
Wait,
the car.
Who are you playing as, Carrie? Are you Vanessa?
I am.
Okay, we have the same intelligence, I fear. Well, oh, Gigi!
day. Out here doing work.
I think I'm Jarvis.
Again?
I'm coming back as a twink. Let's go.
Oh.
I'm Troy Sivan.
Take that!
Very nice.
Take that, you bitch!
I thought you were doing business.
So
Not
you
being a
could hear
complete
me.
asshole.
I have to leave. I have to leave. She's attacking.
Oh,
Go
I heard
in! Go to the door!
Hi.
Like that, asshole!
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so bad at these skill checks.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Gigi. Oh my goodness. It's a shit show over there. Do not go to pack
Everyone
a
at the
snack.
car.
There are no snacks. It's just death.
Battery's done.
Oh, cool.
Gotta
Oh
get
my
a
gosh.
key. Get a key.
Nam has a key, right?
Yeah, where's Nam?
Oh, I do. Hey, guys.
Get to the car, you bitch.
I'm coming. Please don't rush me.
Stand by the door.
I thought we were.
Wait,
all
where's the
texting.
car?
It's at the main building. Pack a snack.
Oh, I see. Oh my god, all of you were over there. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Don't even.
Did one of you mess up?
No, Eva's gonna shoot me again.
Oh my goodness.
Got him.
Did y'all get his mask off?
Did I?
Not yet.
He's laughing.
Wait!
Oh, that means
Wait,
he beat
hold
him
on.
up
He's
so
gonna
much.
stop the car. Get in.
Oh, I gotta go. Ah!
Well,
Let's go.
good seat, I fear.
Let
Wait,
me in. I gotta go.
Bobby, have some fun.
I gotta go.
Oh
I am
my
injured.
goodness.
Don't get
Wait,
carried.
everybody get.
I'm trying. I still can't run. Oh, I tripped.
I like when your mic peaks, Nem.
Oh, does it really?
Whenever you scream, it becomes like a radio sound. It
Oh
sounds
my
like
God.
you're far away.
Sorry. Oh,
We gotta go.
Tommy,
Don't run Eve over.
is the car full?
Someone has the phone
Yeah.
fuse.
That's really okay. I'm gonna go this way.
Oh.
There was momentum on the hill, guys. Please.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
He's-
fine. We're backing up.
Okay, if there's any time to do the phone fuse, it's now.
He's on me, killing me again.
Oh, we're
Okay.
going all the way off
Does
road.
anyone know where we're supposed to go?
No idea.
On the
If you
map,
keep going
there's
straight, we're
2
gonna come out to the
exits
road.
on the road.
Yeah.
Some keys.
There you
Okay,
go.
we fit here. Skinny.
Take a left. Yes.
Tiny.
Yes, and just stay on the road. Slay.
Please keep distracting.
Okay, I'm good at driving, guys. Did you see that? I kind of
That
hate
was
that.
so good.
Really nice.
You only
Oh,
crashed like twice.
Well,
Okay, I couldn't shoot though. Hold on.
Yay.
okay. Yeah.
I'm the last one.
Dear,
Oh,
you're
no, but
last.
you win these.
Save the best for last.
Gosh. I have to leave. I don't think so.
Whipped it.
How many pocket knives you got, bitch?
I can't talk. I'm on a controller.
I hate that.
I have 3, so don't mess with me.
I know this is Deer versus Trashly round what? 600?
Mm-hmm.
Hit him with the sock.
She's in rage mode, so I can't even hit her. I have to leave. She hates me the most. I'm not safe.
Did you call the piggies?
I can't, cause
Oh.
there was a trap.
That's rude.
I know. I have keys for another car. Help. Where's the macaroni pot? Do you think I should get one?
It could be nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that she would step into the trap. I'm running in my heels. Ah! I'm out of stamina. Window! Oh, thank God.
I love the faces the counselors make when they're
Exactly.
scared.
Shut the glass all up in your Gucci.
I have to go.
Oh my god, dear, that's my dead body right there. There's med spray back there.
Where?
It's in the middle of the street, right by the dead body. Yeah.
Oh, in the street? Okay.
Right by Jason, yeah.
Right where Jason is? That's nice.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
Oh!
Get away from me!
Oh, that was nice.
Nope.
There it is. No!
Oh.
Not that.
Oh, that's not.
Well, now we're here together. I have to go. Where's the car?
I took it.
We're at Denny's actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting on you, girl.
Oh, get under the bed. I think that'll work.
Yeah, that'll
Right.
Oh.
I think using the strat of healing while you're falling.
I'm trying to live.
The way you just landed standing straight up, too.
I know. Right on the feet. No!
Oh, mama.
Trashly, please go away. I'm asking nicely, please leave me alone. Ah! Where's Jarvis?
I died.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's kind of how we got out in the car.
Oh my god.
Okay, dear, just do that for 5.5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not saying they should keep this game alive because Deer is carrying this, but like this is impressive. Like open it back up.
Absolutely.
Oh, that scared me.
The juice, mama.
You're crazy.
I need a window.
Oh.
Mama Trashly can build a house with all this wood.
Everybody get comfy. We've
Plus
got about
5 wood.
10 more cabins to
Yeah,
look
exactly.
Oh wow, she pushed me out. That was weird.
That's nice.
That worked out.
I need my stamina. I have like nothing to do, nowhere to go. I'm out of stamina.
I'm surprised Trashly is not swearing up a storm right now.
Is she not?
I bet she is.
Probably is. Oh no.
Mercy, mercy!
You didn't have a knife. The way I wanted to make you bleed out.
Oh,
I should have grabbed you long.
Oh!
Well, you didn't.
Well, you're dead, so I don't care.
Trashly said the dead cannot speak.
You've done your job well.
Hi,
Oh no, everybody else had a knife. I assume Deer had 4.
No, they swallowed
Trashly,
them all.
I was
They
just
stuck them up.
dancing and you came over and you killed me. I was very upset.
I didn't kill you. I struck you.
Yeah, I was not
And
a
then
threat
you
to
ran,
you.
and then I was stunned maybe 7 times, and then I killed you.
That was fun. You did good.
Wait.
really good.
Did you chase the car at all? I was about to do
Are
the
people
phone.
making Discord sounds?
Perhaps. It sounds like it.
I didn't. I didn't.
I need to
hear you.
fucking mute those completely.
I have it at like the smallest volume.
I made it sound with my voice.
Was it like
Yeah.
ducks?
Well, it was awful.
I said that. Is that.
It was awful. It was evil.
Oh.
It was.
I thought it was a
nasty.
Discord sound. I'm like, I hate those. Did they re-enable them? I thought I took
You had like a
turned them off.
visceral reaction to
Yeah,
that.
just
Because I thought they got turned
I
back
have
on,
to
and I was
take that.
really mad about it.
wow, Trashly.
Oh,
You
what did I
played
roll?
as Jason once, and you.
And now
have
I hate
anger
everybody.
issues.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Jason changed
yeah.
you.
Wow.
Now I need to be the shirtless guy.
Kenny, he's cute.
Which one?
Isn't there only?
One
Oh,
with the
Adam
Speedo?
has his shirt open.
We're matching. I'm matching Adam today.
I love.
Unintentionally, but you know.
I think you're giving Adam and Fox, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
We have all the cosmetics too.
I think you still have to buy some of them.
What though?
They're like
the hell?
99
Because
cents.
Jason is not a
Mhm.
thing.
They
Unless you
reset
had
all my
him.
grab kills every time I. That's weird.
Tweet at them. Maybe
I'm
they'll fix it for you.
excited.
Wait, I want to be pink.
Oh,
These.
pink Kenny. Pink Kenny is.
Oh
so
no,
cute.
Deb. Oh wait, no, it didn't save my. I wanted to play Debbie.
Who do we
Whoever
think
the
is going to be the
killer is,
killer?
please Don't be mean to
It's
me.
me.
Whoever it is,
No.
remember, I didn't kill you.
Yeah, you
Right.
fucking you killed me twice, actually.
Wow.
The
That was
devil's out.
cold of you, Trashly.
What?
And I was
I
dancing
mean,
the
killing
first
Eve,
time.
she's just gonna come back as Tommy. So kill Eve. It's fine.
I love that show.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
I'm ready. Who's ready?
I'm so ready.
Oh,
this
no,
map.
not this map.
This is like so nostalgic for me seeing all these maps.
It's
Uh-oh.
not me.
Oh, I think that's me.
If you're
Eve's gonna tunnel me because she's trying to kill me as the survivor.
No, she'll tunnel me first.
Um,
Don't worry.
Who's scissoring?
Goodbye. Have
it's not
fun,
me.
everybody.
Dear, be nice to us, please, dear.
Oh,
I'm
it's
deafening.
over.
We're toast. Oh, she's
Maybe it's
Die
toast.
immediately.
I'm quitting. Bye.
Pull myself into the water.
Be right back. Oh, y'all, I'm gonna kill them. On this map, honey. On this map, honey. It's a done deal. Who's making noise? Make some noise. How do I do it? You might be able to just step away from that. Okay. So, we're gonna go to the phone first. Get him, dear. Thank you. Ooh. Excuse you? Does that carry the one?
Fuck you!
They want to hurt you, Jason.
That was
Don't
rude.
let them.
I'm gonna turn off the power down here. Not after I just use my power. Oh wow.
Help! Oh God!
Oh, I think that's Harry actually. It's very dark, y'all. I don't know where that happens. Where did they go? Do I see them at the boat? Let's grab this. They're being very quiet. Yeah, these survivors are quiet, honey. Oh. Might need to turn up
Hey,
the
girl.
gamma a little.
Kill me. How you doing? Bye, yeah. That's just where.
Ashley, what is she doing? Oh!
They want to hurt
She got
you,
me.
Jason. Don't let them.
Help! Oh God!
Stalk. I want them dead. Am I not gonna get any kills on the hardest map? She might be distracting me. I'm gonna go look at the boat. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Who's that? Oh, that was Carrie. Sorry, Carrie.
They deserve to die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Where are we? Oh. Someone's in here.
Wait, are you near me, dear? Dear, no, I'm not a threat.
Where'd they go? I just saw them. Oh, there. I need this one. Oh, look, someone's hurt. Someone stepped in a trap. They must be trying to do the phone.
Please, no!
And now we go to the phone.
That's my Jason. That's my special, special boy.
There's another trap. Put another trap here. Ooh. Who's doing all that? I guess I'll just put it here.
Please. Shut up.
Mercy sprint.
Sorry, gal. Ooh. Oh my. So brutal.
That's my Jason. That's my special, special boy.
Where are they now? I just saw someone go over here. Whee! Bitch. Rude. Where is he taking the battery? A knife?
Let go of me.
Don't let them.
How dare. The kills are so cool. I know, I want to give you more.
Tommy, save me.
See you.
No, please don't. Oh.
I'm so sorry. Snip, snip. Woo!
Oh my god, I'm so skinny now. Wait, hello?
Snip the head off too. Why not?
That's my Jason. That's my special, special boy.
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck you!
Ooh, they got me.
Do you know what your gift is? No matter what they do to you, you cannot die.
Oh no.
You can never die.
I don't think so. How do you get in here? Oh. Gonna go over here. They're doing car stuff, I fear. Coming out of the water.
Dear, please, do not near me. Dear, please. I come in peace. I come in peace. I just.
Help me!
I said, please.
Don't let them. They want to hurt you.
What the
Jason.
hell?
Don't let them. They deserve
Knife to
to
the head.
die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Whee! Woo!
Scissor me to death.
Hey.
That's
He went
my
to heaven.
boy. Hunt them down and make them pay.
That was frightening. Goodbye, Deborah. Woohoo! Can you
They
believe?
deserve to
Oh,
die, Jason. Make them suffer.
who's left? It's just Trashly. went out there into the woods. Miss Trishelli. Interesting, interesting. Battle for the ages.
Hi.
The music.
Bitch.
Do you
Not
know
this.
what your gift is? No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die.
I would like Trashly Dead, please. Crumb Cabin. Who likes crumbs? Damn, I wanted to take her over to whatever that is there.
Find them. Kill them.
Help! Oh God!
Right here. Damn!
Why don't you just kill me?
I'm trying to get a nice kill. I can't even see now. Oh. Well, we'll just do that one. Good. Settings.
Was it
Video?
Yes. Yes.
I've seen
Kill
that kill
for
before,
mother.
dear. You used it on me the first time.
It's all done now, Jason. Your job is
Apply.
done.
Sure.
Return to
That should be a little better. Hi, Trashly. I was trying to get the kill where like there's like a screwdriver on a table.
Oh, and did you get it?
No, I didn't. You saw that I punched your head off.
Kind of sad.
Dear,
Yes.
why did you just throw a knife at me and not kill me like the cool way?
Because you were running away.
Why didn't you
That
give me the
was very
special kill, dear?
insensitive.
Because y'all being too much.
I had a gun
Well-
and I was being peaceful, and you said no.
Fucking light this.
Now that
bitch
everyone's
up.
dead, I have a very important announcement. We had a poll in the chat, and the people have spoken. Everyone wants the next round to be a La Chapa only round.
Ah.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Who? What's a La Chapa?
Yeah, that's confused.
Yeah,
La
I don't know
Chapa
what
is
that
a
means.
character in the game.
He's one of
Found.
The
the
counselor.
Does it have to be wrestler La Chapa?
You
I
know,
mean, if you ask, you know they're gonna say yes.
whichever La Chapa you want, I'll give you
But
that.
does that mean there's gonna be no Jason?
No, there'll be a Jason. No, Jason is also La Chapa.
This is really interesting.
I'm glad we have all the perks. 'Cause I'm sure I didn't have anything unlocked on him.
Oh.
Hi, dear, can you hear me?
Yes, what's up?
You have to be La Chapa.
Oh no. Leia doesn't like that. Will you feed her, Chad? Oh, good. No.
I fear the only choice is leopard print leotard with the red boots.
I'm changing to La Chapa. I beg to beat Jason this round.
Can you not be disgusting? And
Do we
vile
have to have the
us?
red boots? Can we do blue?
Sure.
I don't think we should wear the same outfits. I think we should all be different. Whose idea was it to have a poll to be La Chapa, huh?
You're actually mad about this?
I put the poll in.
You're sick.
I hate that it like reset all my emote things, all my like everything.
It even reset your emotes? Weird. It didn't reset mine.
There.
Carrie.
There's a bunch of dancing. That's all I want.
Do we have any requests for level?
What haven't we gone to yet?
We haven't gone to Higgins Haven. We haven't gone to any of the smalls, I don't think. We haven't gone to a Jarvis house.
I say Jarvis.
Okay, let's go to Jarvis house then.
Yeah, it could be nice.
I ready up.
We're all Discord mods.
I'm not.
Liz requests Trashly speaks in a Cockney accent.
No. Not unless everyone does an accent.
I'll do it in accent.
I'll be from New Zealand, yeah.
You both can't be from New Zealand.
both
One
from
of you
New
has to pick a
Zealand.
different one.
I'm from the UK, actually.
And I'm from New Zealand, yeah.
You both sound like Lady Lay,
Well,
who is not here to defend herself.
she's actually
I
at
make my
Bitchin'
move.
at
Yes, it's
Precinct.
true.
Mm-hmm.
She's performing live.
Mhm.
Oh, it would be better if I sound like this.
Oh.
Oh
I'm
my
already
goodness.
doing that accent, love.
Kiari says Nem's British
I do it
accent is
better.
top tier.
No, you don't. You don't do anything better. Especially not
really
this
interesting.
accent.
That's Australian.
I don't know what Australian or Cockney is. It don't matter.
Is this me?
Is that me again?
It could be me again.
Dear, please
I
don't
forgot
bully
what
us,
Jason
please.
I feel like Deer
I was
picked
just
Jason.
playing. Goodbye, y'all. Love you.
Ew,
Have fun.
why? I don't want to play this
Remember,
man. Dear, can you
Jason.
kill me fast?
Make them
Please
suffer.
hold.
I can't. Come find me. I'm ghost
Dear
stream snipe me,
again.
please.
Oh my goodness. Me again? I grab a knife. I grab a knife. Y'all. Love you. Dear, twice in a row. I can't believe. I probably shouldn't look at the chat, but I guess y'all are watching me, so there's no way for me to cheat. Unless you're watching Trashly or Nemesis or Gigi. Don't cheat. Oh. Okay. Gonna destroy that. Gonna put a trap there. Kiki's cackling. Is she having a wild time? No one give Deer any info. Yeah, don't tell me anything. Gonna destroy this. This house is completely messed up. Where's everybody? Should probably go to the main house. Why do you think Deer got Jason again? I don't know. I hadn't been Jason yet, but now I got Jason twice. Sorta wild. Already crashing. Gonna go to the main house. Where the fuck is everybody? Finally. Someone's doing the phone. I have to go to the phone. I have to go to the phone.
Find them. Kill them.
Oh my gosh, the way he screams. The way that LaChapa screams. What?
Yes. Yes. Kill for mother.
Did someone just say, is that a dead body?
Dear, please.
They want to take you from me, Jason.
I pitied them.
Don't let them.
I think that was Nemesis, maybe? Damn, we are running.
I'm sorry, dear.
Oh, that was Gigi. Rude.
No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die.
They went way far away. Damn it.
They want to hurt you.
Go
Jason.
away.
Don't let them.
Kiki. A knife?
Get up, Jason. Find them.
Kiki is doing the most right now. Ms. Kiki Powers, good night. Woo!
Is it because I taunted you?
Sorry,
It's in my
Beth.
hair? It's in my...
Yes. Yes. Kill for mother.
Who the fuck?
Holy shit, is that a dead body?
Mm-hmm. Where'd they go? Oh, there they are.
Please, no!
Sorry, babe. Bye-bye. Woo! Deer's a killjoy? I don't think.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die. Make them suffer like we did.
Knock, knock.
Hi.
Ah! Ah!
You're not welcome in here.
I want Trashly. Can't believe they called the cops. Those bitches.
Oh!
The cops are gonna come. Where did Trashley go? Oh, she's in here. I've only killed 2 of 3. Ah!
They want to
I'm
hurt
getting
you,
beat
Jason.
up.
Don't let them.
I should check on one of the roads.
Get
Trashley!
up, Jason. Find them. Kill them.
Everybody else is doing so much other stuff, and you're just focusing on me. You're tunneling me. Literally, everyone has the world. They're calling the cops. They're making porridge. They're making cocoa, just having so much fun, and you're just still on me. They're literally making fun of you.
I tried to go somewhere else. Thought. There's one. Sorry. It's because Trashley didn't say Jira was the queen of driving. That's true. Who's watching?
Yes. Yes. Kill for mother.
Damn it. People are gonna get out. This is a tough map for both killers and the counselors, so not a lot I can do here.
What
are you doing?
They deserve to
He's
die.
killing me.
Make them suffer like we did.
Through the window. Who was that? Trashley fucking escaped. That fucking bitch.
Yes. Kill for mother.
Well, 2 escaped. I thought I did pretty good though. 6 out of 8. Why not?
It's all done now, Jason. Your job is through. Return to mommy.
Do you think I did good? Hi.
Very nice.
Hi.
Hello.
Trashly, you're rude.
Even I kind of held hands as we left.
We done?
That's nice. Blondes supporting blondes, except me and Gigi and Nemesis and the rest of us here.
Right.
Speaking of rude, we've had another chat poll.
Oh wow.
And it looks like
Oh.
Deer alone is gonna be LaChappa next round. Everyone else can be whoever they want.
Oh, we won.
Nice.
I am so sorry, sister.
Watch me be Jason again. Imagine.
Also, Slyonetta spent like 16,000 chat points.
Oh
to
my
get that
goodness.
result.
To get that? Ugh, well, I'm ready. Thank you all so much for being here. This is so fun. I love this game so much.
Absolutely.
It is.
Who hasn't been Jason that wants to be Jason? Anyone? Kiki?
Me. Yes, please.
All right. Since I have to be LaChappa and I've had 2 Jason rounds, we're going to ensure that I'm not Jason and Kiki can be the killer.
You can actually set it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you just touch the
You can
little
set,
mask.
like, a preference, yeah.
Oh. We could have done that the whole time and just cycled through everybody.
We could.
That way I don't have to be stressed every time the game
You're like, who is it? Who is it?
Don't be me, don't be me. Even though I feel like I do better as Jason, or at least have more fun because you do the whole game rather than just dying.
Yeah, there's not the
Which
risk
is what
of
I
just
do.
dying off. Oh, I need
Usually.
to ready.
Dear
I got a
Kiki's
knife
ready.
for once, dear. I was so happy.
I was like, you fucking bitch, you have a knife. Rude. I'm gonna miss this game.
It's so sad. End of an era.
I know. Can you
I
believe
wonder
it?
if there's like a way we could do private servers or something. I don't know.
Fans will probably figure that out, and the game will still exist. It's
Yeah.
just it's not going to be able to be bought or sold. Like they're just going to slowly gut it more and more and more.
That's so sad.
It is sad, and isn't it sad that this game brought us all together, and then we'll never talk to each other again?
I know.
I look forward to it, actually. How much longer do we have?
You've got a half hour left, rudely. Interestingly.
This game is so old, but it's like eating my computer alive. I don't know why.
Oh no.
Like, hello?
Turn down all your
Oh,
settings.
Ooh. Backhead.
That's nice.
You're
I
what?
think that this one's faster.
Yeah, he can run. I'm LaChappa.
I have to do something. I have to escape.
Have fun, girly.
Have fun, Kiki.
Who is that?
Not me immediately putting that down. Oh.
Kiki, be nice to me.
Oh, the fuse is at the cruising spot, aka the bathrooms.
Oh,
Oh. So real.
I don't think I have any perks on LaChappa. I think I'm
Found
going
the
involved.
keys.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Would you
Okay,
like to
acting.
dance a little bit? Oh, I don't have a dance. All I can do is shush you.
Wait, hold on. I think
Wait,
I can
what's
dance.
what's the key bind?
That's Trashly, that's fitting.
V
You're
is
very good
emo.
at that.
V?
What are you doing?
Hold V to get your emotes, but I unfortunately didn't
dance.
dance.
You can't dance?
I don't dance.
I dance.
Did you call him?
Oh, is this? Oh. Hi.
Nem, did you call him?
No, I didn't. Eve did.
Oh, there's Eve.
He's near me.
Hey.
I can't dance, guys. This is not fair.
Okay, I'm sorry. God.
You
Don't
can.
pull
You just
my
have to.
face like that.
Dancing. Apparently, this is what movie? Footloose, where dancing is illegal.
Oh, with Kevin Bacon.
We should stick
Or is that
together.
Dirty Dancing? It's one of those. Who knows? No, Dirty Dancing is the girl that works out and then dances. No, that's Flashdance. I don't know. Never mind. Don't talk to me. I'm gonna go dance alone.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for shit.
Leave me alone.
We're better in groups. We have to stay together with the power of friendship.
Okay,
Come
no,
on.
Nemesis. Bat fight. Bat fight.
Not the bat fight.
Bat fight.
Fun. Giggle.
Is friendly fire on?
I don't think so. I think
We would be dead by now, I
dead.
feel.
Oh my god.
Bat fight.
I found the battery trash thing.
I'm locking myself in here.
Oh my god, where did you find that battery? I thought
wait.
someone had already looked through that place. I'll be
Someone
here to
already
protect you.
pillaged.
We
Thank
really
you.
should put friendly fire on. I think that would be so fun.
Wait,
No.
we should kill Jason. Wait, guys, let's
No
go.
friendly fire. Because what happens is someone's mean, shoots somebody, and then they're out for 18 minutes.
Well,
And they have to sit there with their thumb up their ass.
Eve wants to turn it on because Eve has tried to kill me
Trashley,
every
if you are
match.
feeling self-conscious, maybe you should try
would
apologizing and
never
burying
do
the
that.
hatchet and burying the machete.
Okay, the battery's in. That's nice. We just need gas.
I did put in the
Is
battery.
there something you want
Do
to
you have
tell me,
keys?
Eve?
Wait, you put
I
the
would
keys in.
never do that.
No, the
Wait.
keys aren't in, are they?
Now,
No.
will
You
you
have to
come
find
to
them.
that front door of the building that we
Yeah,
were in
you put
having
the
the
key
bat
in.
fight?
Yeah, do you,
Oh,
is there
did
like a
it.
present on
Lied.
the floor for me?
No,
I think you just have to be
there's
holding the key when you
door.
get in.
Oh,
Mm.
really?
Yeah, I think we need your expertise.
Oh, can you unlock the door though? Can you come to the door
Keys?
really quick?
Oh, the fridge is broken.
Oh wait,
I'm
can you
fixing
open
the
this window
fridge.
for me?
Yeah.
Nothing over here.
Hey.
Hey, do you need me to? Oh, this is I got
I
you.
think did I start in here? I can't remember.
Ah!
Oh, I think
someone's
Eve had a
exploded.
stumble. We need a doctor.
I'm bleeding.
We
This
need a
place has been
doctor.
looted.
Someone please help my good My oomphy is dying. Someone help them.
Please understand that I'm playing piano. I have a piano recital. Oh no!
Kiki doesn't like music.
Wait,
I
help me
hear.
out of the trap, Oompa, please.
I can't. I'm scared.
Now we're both dying, love. We're fucking dying.
We're playing
Ours were
piano
so
together.
close
Please
together.
leave us alone. We have to practice.
We're just some hot twins doing a piano recital.
Your finger recharge keys?
I left the keys on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
I don't know
Here,
where
I'll
where
open
at?
the door. Maybe Jason wants to come in and play the piano with us.
Oh, I
haven't
see,
seen any
dear.
gas. Hello.
Let us know if you
I
find
closed the
gas.
door.
Yeah, I'm actively looking. Where's the gas?
Where are you? Hi.
Gas.
Ah.
Hello. Where the
Get
fuck is the
her!
goddamn gas? Freaking out. Having a meltdown.
Oh,
I'm done. Run, run.
I'm running.
I'm sorry, I
there's
tried
a
to get
sexy
there in
man
time
and a
to
speedo
save
over
you.
here. I'm so distracted.
Did you say the phone fuse is at the bathroom?
Oh, hey, Diva, you're alive.
Hi.
Oh, that's not the other one. Okay.
I couldn't save Eve, you'll find.
Oh.
Joy,
Does
you
anyone
can- you
have,
can
like-
confirm?
Oh. I got a dagger thrown at me and I died.
Oh my
I
god.
don't like when they throw daggers.
Sorry. Don't be so daggerable.
Okay, he's
Dear-
playing the hot guy with no pants on.
Is that Chad?
I have no idea who it
I am
is.
looking for the phone. I'm going to call the cop.
Call the police, because this is disgusting.
Trashley is the
Oh, I'm
sexy guy.
Tommy. I'm Timmy Jimmy.
Oh.
He wasn't skinny
Oh my
enough.
god.
Calling the cops right now.
Why is Timmy so wet? Oh.
I could have helped you. I didn't know you were, I didn't even know he was in here.
I wondered why you didn't save Gigi.
I didn't know he was in there.
He was breaking her back right behind you, girl.
I didn't know until I heard the cracks of the back, and by then it was too late.
Once
I like
again,
it.
We'll
Trashley's
remember
out
that,
for herself,
Trashley.
as always, as you.
Oh my god. I'm not out for myself.
Who are you out for if not yourself then?
I
You're
was
not here for
I
me
was
as a
helping
sister.
I was helping Gigi the entire time.
It's true.
I found the gas.
And I
Well-
turned my back for a second and her back gets broken.
Well,
However, I do not have a map, so I can't tell you where I am.
uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm near Trashley, wherever she is.
Oh, I know where the car is.
Lead Carrie to the car, please. Someone has the keys. Oh, Carrie, I can lead you. I see you.
Oh, well, they're coming to one of the cars.
Do you have keys, Carrie?
I have keys.
This way, please.
Oh, I have keys.
Okay, they're over here. I think the yellow one is closer.
Yeah.
The song is The
We're
Heartbeats
gonna
by
want
the
to cut
Night.
through here, I think, and go to the blue. Yeah. I'm just checking my
The
map.
blue's the bigger one anyway,
Yeah,
right?
this way.
Yeah, the blue one has 4 seats.
I don't think Jason's model is loading in. I think I'm being chased by a ghost.
Like when you were at Denny's?
He's phasing.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Get that back,
Carrie,
girl.
Carrie, give me the gas, because I can do it better. Like, we'll switch.
I think Kiki set down a trap right in front of the car.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. And then I'm also gonna give you this.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at the yellow car or the blue car?
I know.
Hey,
We're going to the
We're
blue
heading to
car.
the blue one.
Yeah, blue.
I'm trying to find stuff to beat him up with, but there's nothing left.
Bro,
Have a
I am
gun.
just meat hobbling around in the rain.
Wait, hold on. I can
Uh-oh.
give you a health potion, I think. Oh.
Is that
Oh, no.
you, Trashley?
No,
That's
that
me.
was.
Oh no.
Here, take
Joy.
this.
He's right here.
Ah,
How do I
someone get
use
the
it?
gas
Is it
in.
one?
Ah.
I'm not sure.
I hope this gas fits.
I like how when you're scared, it gets rid of your HUD and you don't know how to use your items.
Uh-huh. Okay, the gas is in. We just need keys, Trashley. If you could come.
I'm coming.
I also have keys.
Joy, please come
wouldn't
to the blue
mind.
car.
We're both heading
Which
towards
is
the
where?
Oh my gosh, dude, there's gas literally right here.
No way.
Now the
Oh,
run!
my God. Okay, I'll take this to
Tracy
the yellow.
Vaughn, run!
Do you want
One
your
of you,
backpack?
one of you, stay at the yellow car.
Okay, I'll stay. But Jason's here as well.
Trashley,
Hi.
lead him away.
No.
I think I'm being chased. I don't know by invisible Jason.
No. He's by me and Nemi.
Oh, hey!
I'm at the car.
Hey,
Ah,
Oofy.
he's there, he's there. Ah.
Get in the
Oh
car
my
with
God.
Carrie.
Yeah, let's go.
Do you have a weapon or something? I should probably grab
I do.
one.
There's one
I
inside.
have a
Yeah,
machete.
there's a machete in there.
Okay. Oh, there's a bat. My bat I started with. Oh, we've come full bat.
Oh, no!
Yellow car is ready.
It actually
I'm gonna
fit.
try to get back to the blue car so that you, Joy and Nem, can take it.
I don't know if I
Yes,
should
Ed.
drive, but
If
I
you wait, I'll
died.
drive.
Oh my god. Well, where'd your body go? Hello.
all
Can we
right.
kill all the blondes? I'm LaChapa. I'm not.
Where should I go?
Wait there.
I don't
and
know,
I'll
I don't
drive,
have a map.
Trashley.
I'll come to you.
I'm in the woods.
I'm out of stamina. Oh.
Trashley, stop the car. I'm almost there.
Dear, I
I don't-
feel like this is my savior moment, and I need to do. Oh God, there's Jason.
I'm almost in. I'm almost in. I'm almost in.
Oh, I'm dead.
I have no weapon, Joy. I can't help.
Oh my god.
Goodbye, Joy.
I'm in the backseat.
Well, these are on my body.
Thank you, Trashley, for driving. This is very relaxing. I look at my
Well,
shorts.
I don't know if this is a good,
Okay.
good way to go.
You're doing good.
Love that.
Continue along the road. Do not hit the car, please. Go around the car. Oh my god! He teleported
It's
on me.
me.
Skinny.
Go right. Go right. Follow the main road.
I've never been so focused.
Continue down
You're
this
doing
road. Do
great,
not turn
sweetie.
left. Do not turn left. Continue.
The police are here.
Yeah. And then at the fork, you can turn left or right, whichever you'd like.
Oh no!
Oh,
Okay, well,
Uh oh.
Well,
There's gonna be a bat on my body.
Hi, Trashly.
I got you, girl.
Oh, that was really nice.
Oh, Carrie, no. Carrie, no.
Don't touch me.
I didn't mean
Don't
to get
touch
back
me.
in there.
Oh,
Wait, I'm really distracted by Trashly's character. He's kind of. Ooh.
I gotta go.
Chad is
Are you
very
in?
sexy.
No, Trashly, you're by yourself.
Oh no!
Wow.
Trashly.
Oh
you
no! Oh no! How did that happen? I didn't mean
Deer
to.
and Carrie are back at yellow car.
Is that new Tesla model Mama? She's so
It was really autopiloting right
Yeah,
out of
exactly.
the camp. I
Trashly,
couldn't
you are
even crash the
ill.
car.
Wait, what did Deer say? Trashly's always in it for herself?
Always. Every moment.
No.
I saved you.
Okay, just come to
And
the
I don't
car.
have my-
Come to this car. I've got the keys, Carrie.
I don't have a map.
Just stay right there. Stay right there. I'll drive to you.
The cops are here. You can
Oh,
run
no.
out.
Oh my god.
Oh
Trap
no.
here. Uh-oh. Carrie, I fear that you are
Oh,
safe
no.
for a
Oh, no.
moment.
Harry, go to the cops.
Oh,
Run out.
no.
I have no stamina. I have no map.
Go to the piggies.
It's where I went. You know the direction we were going on the road?
Is that Deer?
Kinda.
Go that way, and then at the
Oh my
T,
gosh.
turn left, and that's the cops.
Guess what?
But I don't know if you're going backwards or not. 'Cause I
That was
feel like-
nice.
Not the La Trappa from La Chappa.
The La Trappa from La Chappa.
Well. Surely Kiki won't kill me.
Kiki's chasing me. You're fine.
Yeah, this doesn't feel like the right direction.
Oh, I hear the cops. I think it is the right
Okay,
direction.
I'm a genius. I don't need no
Go
damn
get you
map.
some pork belly.
Oh my god. I knew you'd make it out, and that's why I distracted him by
Of
hiding
course.
off very
Yes.
quickly.
I needed
Not
to know
that.
Hello.
Be careful. Dear.
Let's see.
I'm breaking free. I'm like Ariana.
Oh, let me do a cool kill. Okay, well.
Oh, you got gagged.
Well, La Chappa's dead forever.
That's what she would have wanted.
Well,
Carrie, you lived, right?
Yeah.
We're dead.
That's good.
Woo! I'm alive thanks to Carrie, and Carrie's alive not thanks to me at all.
That was a good match.
Hello?
Wow.
Not that.
You've done your
Shook.
job well.
I guess
Mommy
fuck my piano title. Like,
Come home, sweetie.
I mean, maybe if you tuned the piano a little bit more, I would have been more receptive, you know?
Maybe if you're good at it.
Did you turn off those Discord sounds?
Maybe has
Eve?
talent. Good job, Kiki.
You did great, Kiki. That was wild. I was running for my life.
It's like I didn't even see you until the end. I was like, oh, there's Deer.
I'm like, help!
She's like, please, just put me out of my misery.
Kill La Chappa.
Fell into so many La Trappas, you know?
Does anyone else want to try being Jason? I can't help but notice that Eve hasn't been Jason, Carrie, Nemesis, Shishi.
I'll try, I guess.
That's a really interesting observation you've made.
I know that's. You bring up an interesting point.
Who was that that
I've
said
played
maybe we try
Jason
it?
several times.
My name is Evil Queen.
I had you muted and I was talking over you. Sorry.
My trauma.
I think you're very beautiful. Oh, I don't want to be La Chappa. I switch away. I'll be AJ. Hey. Oh, not this.
Please don't try to kill me.
She gets to be both AJ and the Queen.
Why not be both?
well,
You
this
wouldn't have
and
to do
that are both being shut down. So
Wait, what is?
AJ and the Queen got canceled, and
canceled.
this is being canceled.
Ooh. Well, we can't win them all, can we?
Crystal Lake Small.
Okay, bye.
Ooh. Oh. Goodbye. Goodbye, Eve.
Bye.
Make sure you deafen and not just mute. Listening in on us, bitch.
Oh, cheater! Something
No,
to think
I was trying. I
about.
thought my
All right.
button was here.
Let's try to kill Jason. Oh, wait, she didn't hear that.
She'll scream. You're sick. You are so rude.
Wait, no, actually, hold on.
You look up a tutorial.
I Google how to do it. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it in person. I had to like look up a video.
Well, we could do a round where it's just okay, kill. Or do you want it to be real? I've done it with randoms in like random matches before. It was wild.
I wonder who it is.
Oh no, it's Evo Queen!
Run.
I want to say real quick, thank you to the community for turning up today. This is an event that I've been looking forward to for so long. And these amazing, amazing queens, kings, and things took their took time out of their days to play some Friday the 13th. So thank you for being here, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
Mm-hmm.
It's an absolute pleasure. Okay, phone is not at the
I found some
bathroom.
gas.
The cruising spot.
Taking it to a car.
Oh no.
Oh, the fuse box is over by the car, which is somewhere by the lake.
I love
Is
that.
there 2 cars this game?
I'm calling Tommy.
Oh, thank you.
Carrie's
for calling
Ariana?
me.
Does anyone know if there's 2 cars?
I'm being
I'm in a
attacked.
blue car.
There are 2 cars, yeah.
There are
I'm
people
just
who
gonna throw
Putting
this
battery
down.
in the.
I'm not smart enough for
There's a car all the way to the. I don't even know.
this. I throw this down.
East.
Jesus Christ.
West. West.
Never eat
Not
soggy
least.
waffles, so west.
What is R?
Hi, Trashley.
This gas is stuck on me.
When Kiki trapped me inside the
Wait, why? How?
Get
I don't know
back
how to throw
here.
it down.
You're not
I'm not in trouble. No, you can house. Fuck. Bye.
I think I can do it. Hold on.
I'm being chased by
I'm
a
not
weirdo,
smart enough to do that.
Free.
Yeah, I can do it.
I had like 40 skill checks, and I'm like, no.
Dear, if you need a wrench, come to this house.
Battery in the blue car.
I have keys.
There's another gun here. It's nice.
Ooh, car battery. It's right here.
Where? Fuse.
It was in the house.
Oh, you have the fuse. Find the. Oh, not that.
Oh, the fuse is by the yellow car. The
Yeah.
fuse house. And we, the yellow car's ready if anyone has keys.
Oh.
Or it will be.
I think you said she has keys.
Yeah. Okay. So fuse box is
Watch
right
out,
by the
Kiki,
yellow
run, it's a
car,
monster!
north of the map.
Oh my god.
It's by the lake.
Scared me.
By Carrie.
Bye, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye, Carrie.
Trashley, you're rude.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
What? I was saying it's by Carrie. That's. Uh-oh.
Who's dying?
Actually,
Is that my Kiki powers?
Wait,
Get rid
how
of
do you?
tall
I don't know
boy.
how to grab. I don't know how to grab.
It's your right mouse muscle.
I'm here to help.
Not muscle.
Fuse
I'm
time.
sorry, it's too much GTA.
Muscle.
Can you please?
I look with my third eye. It's your right muscle.
All the piggies.
I forgot to equip dances again.
Who has the fuse?
I already
It's in
did it.
there.
There's someone calling
Fierce.
it. Hey.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I have the top perk.
Oh, so it comes faster. 30 seconds faster. Or,
If
or
someone
so.
has key, blue car's ready.
Oh, I've got it. I'm on my
Who's
way.
after
I'm over by the
me?
yellow car. Who's?
There's 2 flare guns over by the blue car
Um,
too.
Tool shed or by the water?
It's at the tool shed,
Water.
Okay, on my way.
like
Hi,
the far
Carrie.
end of the
I'm
map.
here to
Oh
protect.
yeah, I'm coming there.
I gotta go.
And there's
I gotta
a,
go get my gun.
There's a fence in the way.
Attack
I should be
aggro.
able to break it.
Close the door.
Hold the door.
No, no, thank you.
Oh, that looks bad.
Dear, I know you're trying to live, but the Jason is on Kiki
Yes,
still.
got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did he fuck off? Oh. Oh.
Wow.
We do
Oh, wow.
happen to have to use our guns. There's a machete and a bat in this building, which is nice.
Cute, cute. I'm chilling. We're hanging out. Hey.
Here we'll be waiting for you.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Yeah,
I'm
can you
almost
hurry
there.
the F up, dear?
You can't rush fashion. I'm putting on my pussy tits. I hope you're ready.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Oh.
No.
Step in my
you
light,
got body
please.
slam.
Step right here.
Oh my god. My head.
Please don't.
Who's at the yellow
Don't push
car?
me,
Interesting.
Nem. This is my stage. Please,
That
please
hurts.
give me some space.
Mhm,
Gigi,
mhm.
Gigi, come here.
Sorry, I
please.
need to be in the splash zone.
Oh, this is nice.
Do you like my pussy
Alright,
tits?
I'm gonna pee.
I do. I think
And
it's.
I'm wearing,
Oh,
I'm wearing
okay,
Doc Martens if you look
wait.
close. Do you
Oh
see
my god,
Docs?
they are.
Giving
That's
Docs.
nice.
How dare you?
The look is very cohesive. Oh,
What's your problem?
Just kidding.
That's
Just
rude.
kidding.
Rude.
It was just a
Dira,
joke.
you
The
have
blood,
to drive, I think.
The blood is a joke.
Okay, the only way I can accept your apologies, you let me drive.
Oh god. Okay.
Well, are we not doing the yellow car anymore?
No, we've been at the blue car.
There's 3 people at the blue car, babes.
Well,
Well, the yellow car is ready.
I'm a really good driver. Everybody in the chat, just watch out. You're gonna be so good.
Okay.
I'm getting in the back seat. Drive me places. I look at my Doc Martens.
Mhm.
Oh, Trashley's gone. Trashley has dissipated. Oh, what? Wow, the
Can we go
moves.
this way? Is that okay?
I'd be careful.
oh my god, Eve is on me.
I'd be careful with the post, you'll find.
Okay, retweet my post. We're going this way because Deer came this way. I can smell her stink from the side of the map.
You can smell my pussy.
Please.
If you could turn to the right, possibly towards the main road at some point.
Oh yeah, I just need to go to the gas station real quick.
You have gas?
Please stop.
Is that what you call the toilet? The gas station?
Yeah. See, we're out. Like, I mean, like,
please
gag
let
on
that
it. I mean,
person in
come
the
on
back.
now.
Please let that
This
person
is
into the back
nice.
seat.
Kiki, please.
Kiki, please get in.
Kiki, choose.
Well, we're gonna die.
Yes, please, at this moment.
Oh, that's Tom. Okay, you made me wait for Tommy Jarvis.
Hold on. I can. I'll get in.
That is
Get
so
in.
rude.
No.
That is so rude.
I was putting on my makeup.
Into the car.
I'm out of here.
We're leaving. Is everyone
Yeah,
in?
yeah, Tommy, yeah, we're good.
That was so rude.
What is that? Kiki!
Why is my hair glowing?
Oh, thank god I'm running the right way.
I was literally
okay,
putting
you
on
can
more
just reverse to the
eyeshadow
other
the
end.
entire time.
Not putting on more eyeshadow.
Yeah, I found my Norbino palette. I was like, ooh.
You're like, I want to be prettier.
Whoever this is, hit them,
Yeah,
hit them, hit them in the face.
Run! Run,
Just
Carrie!
go.
Where did it go? Oh, I tripped
Tripping.
anyway.
Imagine you fall and break your face.
My signature move.
Oh my god.
Just drive out.
Oh my god.
Are we stuck? I'm confused.
Carrie was running in front of the car.
Mama.
I tripped.
You got me
Oh.
scared.
Yay!
Love that.
Yay.
I died it.
Okay, it was for a bit, but my driving actually kind of ate that.
You
I don't
did
know.
that.
You
until,
did, you
until
did.
you
Right?
crashed.
Wait, I should get my driver's license IRL. Oh my god.
You don't have it
I
yet?
think you should use the
Facts,
footage from
honestly.
that
No.
to, approve me.
I wish you all had that same energy to help each other escape the next time I fucking play as counselor.
You need to pair up with me and Nemesis and Carrie. We had it figured out.
Interesting.
Oh wait, no, Carrie, Gigi.
I figured it out on
Carrie-
my own, thank you very
Sorry,
much.
Carrie is who I
Nobody
almost
helps
ran
me,
over.
Eve, so I don't know
Yeah,
what the
Carrie
fuck
is who I wanted you to hit with the car.
I'm getting
Carrie would have died if
Yeah.
I was still driving fully. I'm so sorry.
Does anyone else want to volunteer as Jason?
I had to leave, unfortunately.
Thank you, Joy, for being
Bye,
here.
Joy.
It's been so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
We love
Also
you, Joy.
to whoever murdered me, those games. It's Filipino American History Month. How dare you?
No, I love you so
That
much.
would be personal.
I've never been Jason, so wow, guys.
Do you want to try it? No.
That was not an invitation to make me Jason.
Wait, can we have
It's
friendly
kind
fire
of
on
easy.
though?
Nemesis
let
is
me
Jason.
see.
No,
Ew,
don't do friendly
why?
fire. Don't do friendly fire,
Ah.
please.
Friendly fire
He's gonna
on.
kill
We have
everybody.
to do one. We have to do one match with friendly fire.
Okay.
Okay, one match, but we're like supposed to kill each other.
Okay.
You're gonna do that when I'm Jason? That's so mean.
Dola, if you could
Or-
become
We're
a
helping
fake
you.
Joy, please.
For helping you do your job, yeah.
Okay, wait, actually, I like
There
that
should
idea.
be
Make me Jason
Joy
right now.
currently.
What? What, Dola?
I should be nicknamed Joy currently.
Oh, I need to make you perceivable, I suppose. Oop, not that.
Who should I be?
Show non-participants. Oh, can you share your? Oh no, it's fine now. It's fine now. You got it. Sorry, it was. I don't know why it wasn't working when I was looking a second. Cool. I'll take Joy's name off for
Get
now,
these
just so.
dances in.
Okay. With a Jason. Okay, so counselors. Friendly fire on. Okay. So we want to have a match where it's like a death match of survivors.
We don't have to. We've done
Yeah.
it before, though.
We have done it before.
It could be fun.
Okay.
And make me Jason.
So the Nemesis doesn't have to participate in the.
He will kill
They
me in
could-
seconds
that
if
way
I'm on the
None can't
battlefield.
die, exactly.
No, they could be ref. They could be ref.
Oh,
Jason's
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
the
ref.
sexy ref. Oh my god.
Maybe it's we all like get a few minutes to go grab like items and then we like show up. Maybe we should go to the archery range, and the archery range could
Oh,
be.
it's like 1v1.
We're doing the Hunger
like,
Hunter
Games.
game.
3,
Hunter
2,
games.
1.
The Hunger Games.
Okay.
So we're not supposed to start with the bat like I was planning,
You can start with it if you'd like.
Coming for kneecaps.
or the axe.
Oh wait, I don't want to be her. I want to be her. Yes, this'll do. Also, if we have any stream queens who are in the chat that would like to come be our 8th player, because Joy had to step out, feel free to make yourself known.
Please do.
Unless you're really good at Jason, then maybe don't.
Fair.
Hebe, you don't even have to be on camera if you don't want to. You could just be with us.
You could just get a
Join us.
like
Join
image on the
us.
internet and make it your virtual camera.
Yeah.
Like get like a stock photo. Sexy drag artist
Mhm.
MP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why
Hi,
I was
Lily
doing
Teal in the
it. I
chat.
think I
Mwah, mwah.
tabbed out.
Hi Lily.
Icon
Oh, the
legend.
icon, the legend.
Mm-hmm. So true.
I don't know how much longer I'll be playing too because my computer is like getting eaten alive.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're nearly at our the time I said, so it's up to you if you want to stick around or not.
I was
like,
going
a
to, but
little
it's like
while
literally
left.
killing my computer. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. I would love to just maybe play like a handful more games and then we can call it a night. The nice little
Like 14
Final
more.
Friday. Just a nice rounded number like
Sensible.
14 maybe.
We all play Jason
Yeah.
what, 2 more times.
Louise.
No.
Chad, give me some drink. It's nice. Oh, backhead.
Is that me again?
No, that's Nemesis.
me.
Okay, everybody.
Oh, hey, twin.
Get your items ready.
Are we supposed to meet somewhere?
We're gonna meet at the archery range. So don't attack each other or you'll be disqualified. I'm deciding.
Oh. Someone's running towards me. Eve was running towards me with a gun.
Not the gun.
Are we supposed to find items first?
Yeah. Find your items and then we'll all go to the
then
archery
meet at
range.
the range?
Yeah. And then Nem can pit us against each other. It could be a free-for-all or it could be 1v1.
I don't know about this. People with the guns are really just gonna.
Maybe the guns have to be saved. Like the guns have to go against each other. How about that?
I just had to shoot you.
I just got shot by Eve. You're disqualified. You're taken out of this equation.
Well, we don't have to worry about that gun.
Well, that's why I didn't want to have to worry about the gun.
That's fair. Who's taking their health off already?
It was me. I accidentally fast vaulted the window, you'll find.
Oh my goodness, Gigi.
It happens.
No, I feel confident in my abilities. I'm just making it easier for the other person.
I personally believe that truthishly, I'd like to find a bat.
I found 3 bats and including the one I started with.
I just got a bat or a frying pan.
I'm gonna call this man.
Hello? Hello? Oh God, help us! Jason's
He's
real!
killing us!
Please
He's
help us!
real!
Jason's alive! Please help us!
What is real? What is killing?
Too real. I can't find a bat to save my life, and it isn't gonna save my life unless I find one.
I think I'm already at the archery range.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I am.
I'm practicing my swings.
I can tell. Get away from me!
Oh my goodness.
Gonna use the bathroom real quick. The anxiety makes me have to poop. Smelled in there.
Shh, she'll never know I'm in here. It's fine.
I found a duck. Can I throw a duck at somebody?
Are you attacking my tent?
Yeah, you know there's like a light in there. It's very obvious that's the one you're in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm just a ray of sunshine, you know?
Sure.
Oh.
Okay.
Right, do we have the battery and the keys? Let's go.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I am...
We tricked you, Nem.
Oh my gosh.
This is so menacing.
Wow, you guys baited me? What the heck?
They're master
JK.
baiters.
Okay, I'm coming out of a tent. Stop attacking.
Okay, I have some cool items. I'm on my way. I'm running through the forest like Lady Lay. I'm out of stamina.
I had cool items. This is being picked through. Oh yeah, Deer was here.
It's a diva off at the archery.
Everyone
I see the
report.
lipstick. Where is the archery?
Do you have a map?
Nope.
Well, good luck.
I'm at the place you called Tommy at. Is that north?
That's the furthest from the archery. You'll want to go. If
Oh,
you're...
I can follow the arrows.
Yeah, if you follow the arrows, you'll get there.
If you see where Jason is, that's where it is.
Jason!
Well, there's a mountain I apparently go over, so.
That's fair. This is already... Ooh, did we lose somebody?
I think Hebe joined.
Oh, Hebe joined. Fierce.
Ooh. Hello.
Hi, Hebe.
Hey.
Need to find a med kit.
Would you like to use your camera, Hebe, or would you rather not?
I found a
Hebe's
map.
camera is on, so you might need to
Oh, like refresh
do what you did
it.
with me
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah, I refreshed it. There we go. Perfect. Oh my god.
I'm obsessed with this.
Oh.
B.O.B.
We're all just standing here, absolutely terrified because we've been next to Jason for so long.
You look beautiful, Hebe.
Thank you.
Sorry, I need to find some health.
This wig came with a Fashion Nova dress.
No way. That is hilarious. Okay, I'm ready to go.
I'm coming. Okay, I just wanted to grab a healing potion.
Gigi trapping herself.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Anyway, I just won't
Please be
get a healing
kind. My
potion.
eyes are bad. I searched the tents first.
Actually, not you playing as Bugsy with the most health, you freak.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nope.
I
just
didn't
switched my
realize that was the button
characters
to grab. I don't even know how to play
everything.
All right.
Skinny.
Do not approach me. See, that's what you got.
Oh my god.
I was passing by you. Wow.
I have a bubble. You need to respect it, please.
All right.
Not the trap.
I'm gonna go dance up here.
Okay, Nem, how do the rules of your Hunger Games
rules of
work?
combat?
Wait, is everybody here?
Yeah. Rules of nature.
Okay, welcome to my sexy, boobalicious death match. So everyone has to stand at one of the archery targets. Everybody get behind one. Or in front of one. Probably in front of one.
Oh, someone dropped this for me.
Gigi, there was a spray can for you.
It was me.
Oh,
Where?
I don't. How do I drop it? I'll
Trashley
give
just
it
stole
to you.
it. It's Z.
Thank you.
I was like, you're already hurt.
Okay, please hurry up. Hurry, come on, you got it.
I find my spot.
Okay.
Okay, now first part of this game is we're gonna play Nemesis Says. So everybody, do you know how to play that game, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. I think.
Okay, great. Anyways, moving on. Nemesis says, run to this thing and then run back to your targets. Okay, now, oh, I didn't say twerk. Please, can you
That's just.
respect the rules of my game, please? Now, Nemesis didn't say heal yourself. Now you better watch it, Tons.
Oh, mercy. Okay, it was an honest mistake.
Okay, now Nemesis says, everybody drop your weapon.
Ooh, that's an ass because I don't know how.
Neither do I.
Hold V.
V.
V, like Victor.
That's how you drop your weapon?
Z. Oh yeah. Okay. Did it.
Okay.
Z as in.
Okay, now pick the shit back up. Oh, you guys suck at this game. What is your problem? What the?
I don't know how to drop my weapon.
Wow.
Okay, so now everybody please line up on this bleachers over here. Nemesis says line up on these bleachers, bitches.
Don't walk into the trap.
I almost did it again.
I trip again?
You have to go over here.
Oh, well.
Okay. So now the death match begins. The floor is lava, so if you leave the platform, you will die. Now all of you must fight for your lives. Have fun!
Oh,
My weapon!
Oh, you better watch it!
Oh my god, I didn't mean to!
Die!
Ow!
Please.
I don't
Come
have
on!
a
The
weapon.
lava!
You're done! You're done!
Not you getting off and on the lava.
Oh, you're done!
they pushed me.
You are not being pushed.
I was being so pushed.
Oh, now you want to hit me, the game haver? Oh, you're done, though.
Not a game haver.
I didn't know what to call
Wait.
it.
We could all join each other. We don't have to fight each other.
Oh! Charlie,
Not you
stop.
saying we don't have to fight each other after you kill
I have
me.
to run.
That's very interesting.
No. I'm back.
You got 100 health, left no health for the rest of
I
us.
have one. I've only had one.
You like it?
Oh, I didn't think that was the rules of the game. That was a little personal. Is this something you need to tell me?
Help! Mercy! Please. I have to go.
Oh God.
I believe in an Eve supremacy.
What just happened? Oh, I died.
The final two.
Damn it! Just
Okay.
die!
Oh, they're hitting you.
I'm
A
trying
little
to.
targeted assault over here. I call this.
It like it auto aims on you.
Oh, I don't want
Thank
either
you.
of these two to win. Why did you? Eve doesn't like. Eve keeps
No,
hitting me
Eve
every
has
game, and
to
then Deer's like
win.
really pro.
You had 7 health somehow.
I had 2. I only had 2. Well, it was one that I could use twice.
Please, Eve.
No.
The Tommy's
Oh,
back.
Tommy's here. Tommy has a shotgun.
Oh.
Wait, where's Tommy's shotgun?
Tommy, you can kill one of them. Oh, did you put the shotgun down?
No guns, right?
Why won't you fucking die?
I mean, everyone's been breaking the rules.
It's true.
What are the rules? I think I'm gonna die here.
Duh rules.
Can you? No.
I didn't invite
hurting.
Tommy to my little
I'm
game.
hurting. Who has a health spray? I'm dying.
I'm surprised you don't.
What do you mean?
He's
I
going
told
after
you
me.
so many times. I only had one that I could use twice.
Oh, I see.
Jason,
Oh,
come and
Thank
get
you.
me.
Oh,
It's me you want, remember?
Lava, the lava.
please, the floor is lava. Respect the rules.
I like how it's so quiet. There's like no more music.
I have music. Did you just heal?
No, I saw my heal thing.
Oh.
Tommy wasn't invited. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And now I get
It was
to...
a diva.
You waited till now to do that?
And now
I
I can...
was trying, girl. Don't even.
Now I can limp to the car, right?
No, that's really interesting that you say that.
Help! No! My brain, I need that.
I don't know how to do anything as Jason.
Well, you figured it out.
Barely know how to do
You
that.
figured that out.
I pressed a button.
Phoebe, you look very beautiful.
Thank you.
Truly stunning.
It's the best I've ever looked.
Okay, I ate that. Look at all my kills. I mean, come on now, get up.
Nem, you really took us there.
Absolutely.
Really? You really did that.
You did
Yeah.
that. Does anyone else want to request being killer around? Or should we leave it up to fate?
Fate.
Definitely
fate.
Yeah, the anticipation is kind of like.
Fate.
Fabulous family.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I
Maybe-
don't like fate.
Hebe, you look just like Katy Perry.
Thank you.
Wasn't a
I
compliment.
don't vote Republican though.
It wasn't a
I'm
compliment.
gonna set mine to counselor preference.
Mine is neutral.
I hate to do this because we just got an 8th, but my computer is really hot.
Wow.
Oh,
That's okay.
That's
I'm
hot.
sorry.
That's
I don't know
okay.
why it's like struggling. I guess the virtual camera is.
Oh, I guess I
taking a lot of my
can't. I
computer.
can't change it then.
Interesting.
Pip said
That's
she could jump in.
okay. We had so much fun with you. We loved you. Thank you, Nemesis.
Thank you.
Yep,
I
good
wish
jump
my
in.
camera
Bye,
wasn't
Too pretty for him to
flopping.
kill.
Good boy. Thanks
Bye.
for
Good night. Happy Friday the
Bye.
13th.
Bye.
Love you all.
Pip can absolutely join. You just have to not throw off the order. I request you
Be
make your
Nemesis?
name.
I can
Be
change
Nemesis.
their nickname.
Okay, just put a Z at the start or something temporarily. I'm just gonna go through the scenes really quick and turn off Nem's name.
I'm just gonna run to the bathroom quick. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. Is everyone having a nice Friday the 13th?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Special shout out to Trashly. Happy anniversary.
Yes. Happy anniversary, Trashly.
I've been muted. Sorry.
Ashlina.
Woo! Thank you.
I also changed my nickname if you want to refresh the cams temporarily.
Oh, I'm
Of
Joy.
course. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joystick. I am the drag
Not
monarch
anymore.
of Team True Queens.
Well, again, you are. But not anymore.
I'll be Brandon again.
He has a lot of health.
A lot of speed, a lot of strength, a lot of stamina,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of love.
And a lot of body yaddy. Cute. Wonderful. Okay.
Well,
The
while we're
scene's so
waiting,
nice.
chat, it would be a great time if you wanted to just take a quick little moment and go vote for me. Throwing that out
Yes.
there.
Oh yes.
So
I
real.
checked
That's
earlier.
fair.
You were #1.
Did you put the
Absolutely,
link in
we
the
love
chat?
it. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
I will. I'm in the reanimator round, so I got second in my group. Because
Fierce.
Miss Elizabeth was waiting there at 10:59 and threw a bunch of money in there.
Mm.
But if I win this round, I get back in.
And what is it for? Tell the audience. The face
So it's
of
called the
horror,
Fa-
right?
The Face of Horror, yeah. So the
Mhm.
winner gets $13,000 and a trip to Hollywood to do a photo shoot with Kane Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees in 4 of the movies.
Mhm.
Oh,
And that's
wow.
a photo shoot that goes into a magazine called Rue Morgue.
So cool.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna win. Everybody vote
I
now.
hope so. There's the link. It's free.
Yep, one free vote a day, right?
That's right.
Let's go. Face of horror.
Is this a special guest star?
Hi, Pib.
Yeah.
Hi, Pib.
If you want me in, send me an invite.
Send in.
Are you
the
Nemesis now?
thousands.
Yes, I have taken over Nemesis's life force. So yeah, we're gonna play Nemesis says guest starring me. No, we're not gonna do that.
Do I? Are you invisible? Oh no, no. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Got you.
I cannot be perceived.
On it.
You can just
I voted.
thing in the placeholder.
Oh wait, that's you, Dola.
Put Dola's picture
Oh,
over me.
Pib, if you. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. Just have to adjust. Talk for me again, Pib.
The fish was delish, and it made quite a dish.
Mm.
Perfect. Thank you.
The way you just had that ready.
Everybody, thank you so much to Joy and Nemesis for joining. And now we have Queen Pib and Hebe Buffet stepping on in. Make some noise. Woo!
I spent a lot of time getting into drag for this.
I can
me too.
tell that it really makes
Confirming my vote from my email.
Absolutely.
Apparently,
Thank you
I
very
need
much.
to do that.
And does anyone want to request playing as Jason, or should we leave it up to fate once more?
Fate.
Fate.
Otherwise, I can do it.
And I would say I'm down to play for a little while longer, maybe until 8 PST, which is 45 minutes. Does that sound good?
That's 2 or 3 games. It's nice.
Okay, cool.
I had to switch to my Trashly merch.
Oh, is that available now on dragtrashly.com?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, that one is. I thought you were doing the one from Jackbox. I was like,
the
I don't know.
taco?
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. The makeup wipe T-shirt.
Yeah, I like it because I could just like wipe my makeup brushes on the shirt to like clean them off.
Yeah. And it just adds to it. It makes it custom.
It makes it more and more special and more worthless. The value drops every time you wear it.
Oh no, my eyelash.
More and more trash, which is my namesake.
It's
so.
an original. It's the Drag Trashly Evel Queen collaboration. It's gonna appreciate and value.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's how that
thank
works.
you, Peb. You're trying to doubt Trashly's amazingness. Is this me?
If it's me again, I need to go switch my weapons.
I think it's me.
It's a machete.
That's not my weapon. It's
it's me.
Hebe, and Hebe
Did
is
anyone else
Joy.
get away?
That's
So there we
nice.
go. Good luck, Hebe. You better mute yourself.
Don't
You
be
better
mean to me.
deafen.
Oh my god, I've forgotten how loud this game
Let's
is.
try to
It's
kill.
quite loud.
Yeah, should we
Trashly,
kill?
you are so evil.
I said that as soon as you muted Eve.
I would have cried.
But I wanted you to hear it, but unfortunately you muted too quick.
Don't worry, I did
I already got keys.
I did correct Trashly that is quite rude. I
calling
scolded
Tommy?
her
Well,
for
it was
you.
supposed to be a joke.
Well, it wasn't funny.
It was funny to me.
Eve could be on the
Well-
verge of tears if you try to kill her.
I'm very emotional and sensitive, please.
Oh my god.
Look, some of you people are going to be seeing yourselves in a couple of days. Y'all behave. Or some wigs are going to get pulled.
We're starting some drama now, so we have something to look
I found the
forward to.
fuse.
Ooh. Hi, Gigi.
Does anyone know where the fuse house is?
Hello.
Oh, a battery. The phone can sometimes, let me look at my map. Sometimes
phone
it's at
can
the
look at your map?
bathroom. Sometimes it's at
Oh, I found gas too.
it could also be at what is that, Bureau Lane?
This house was full
that
of
helps.
goodies.
Chock full.
Yeah, I put the
Keys are
gas
being left
down
at the
again.
4-seater.
4-seater. Oh, where's the 4-seater?
North side.
Oh,
Okay.
I found a battery.
I'll take this battery to the yellow car.
if you if you have a
If
map,
you want wild.
So when does Leatherface show up?
Please.
Leatherface.
did you
Secure the
turn off
game.
friendly fire, dear?
Oh god, I did not.
Oh no, I
Please
stay away from
remind me.
Eve. I was going near Eve, and now I'm.
Please
Not-
remind me to turn that off next match. It's
Why?
just for fun. It's just to help Hebe. She's bad at the game.
Don't worry, if you get a shotgun, I think it kills whether friendly fire is on or off.
Shishi, please don't attack me with that.
I don't
I
think
would
so. Eve's
never.
been shooting everybody all night.
I think Hebe's near.
You said it's by the bathroom, dear.
I don't know where it is. It can be. It can be near the bathroom or the like the northeast, I guess.
No.
Okay, the battery is in. The
Okay, that's
yellow.
nice.
I'm putting battery in blue car. We just need gas.
I'm gonna
There's
check-
gas on the map if you have it.
I'm gonna check the boathouse.
Wait, yeah, it's where I was. It's kind of near where I saw you, Eve.
Okay.
I still don't have a map again.
You don't have a map?
Which car needs gas? Blue?
Blue, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can bring some.
You can find a map at the the little pamphlet station. It's near the blue
Hi,
car.
Carrie.
I see a key.
Oh, she is also at the pamphlet station.
Oh no.
Come in, Eve.
I've been looking for this fuse house forever.
Fuel en route to the blue car. I am not a repair character.
Me
Yeah, I
either,
was
but I
going
put in the
away from
battery.
everything.
Please don't do that to me.
It's gotta be this house.
Eve
Or maybe
pleading, and I
Springwater
look
Camp.
over at Hebe, and she's smiling.
Oh, I found it.
You found it? Where was it?
Camp Hillbrook, the house on the bottom by the key. Oh no.
Oh, good.
I have to do 100 skill checks.
Yeah, you do.
It's gonna take me 4 years.
Yeah, it's hard.
I hide in the bathroom.
I dropped my gun
I'm
to
running.
put the fuel
I'm
in.
running. Oh wow, this house has been wrecked, bitch. Oh, I'm being attacked. Put in the gas right now, or the battery, or whatever the fuck you want.
Oh yeah, I think I already tossed that.
Yeah,
Harry, run! He's here! It's the
I was
killer!
doing so well.
Get away from me, you
I'm
monster!
trying.
Run, Carrie!
Come to blue car.
Okay, it's ready. Wait, do you have my gun? I'm okay with that.
Let's go, let's go. To the
If
blue
anyone
car.
has
Blue car is so far away.
I'm running to the blue
coming.
car. Please start it.
Oh, we're in. We're driving.
Let us
Don't
in, let
hit
us
me.
in, let us in.
Am I blind or do I not see this phone?
It should be in there.
Okay.
I'll get out. I'll hit him.
Help me, please. Help me, please.
Oh. I guess I didn't get out.
Oh,
I can't use
I'm
my
starting
gun.
the car.
There's no phone.
Shoot him! Shoot the killer! Get in the car!
I can't. I
Oh,
can't
I
use
was-
Locking my
anything.
door.
I was repairing a generator, not the phone.
Oh my god.
Never mind.
Is everyone
Oh my
in?
god. Skinny, thank you, thank you.
Ah,
We have got to go.
This is the phone.
I don't think
It's
so.
much harder.
oh my
Okay,
god.
Very nice.
Drive to your drive.
I'm the queen of driving. Don't worry about it. I want to go this way.
Oh yeah, queen of driving.
This way,
Nice
right
little
into the ditch.
2-point turn. It's
I want to go
okay.
this way.
It's
nice.
50%, and I get them all wrong.
Trashley, are you doing okay with the phone? There we go. We went the scenic route.
No, he
Wasn't that
found
nice?
me.
Thank you for distracting while we live. Little up
It's nice.
They're getting out of the car.
Trashley, are you okay?
You know, I'm realizing that Tommy has
Who's
just
that
as much
dead
forehead as I
person?
do.
Trashley, what have you done?
What did I do?
There's a dead person right there. Did you do that? Friendly fire is on.
I didn't do anything. Girl, I'm just trying to survive.
Run! Trashley! You had time to pick that up.
Did everyone else get out?
Yes.
You are.
I'm
the
back as
final-
Jarvis.
Except for Pip and Kiki.
Pib and
yeah.
Kiki are with you if you'd like to stand back.
I'm
I'm
Nah,
gonna do so
it's
much
really
moving.
easy.
Actually, I like the color of your shorts.
I love green. It's my favorite color.
I've heard that about you. You never wear it.
Can you go work on the phone?
I
yeah.
would need to have the fuse
Yeah.
in order to do
I
that.
think it's north of this.
Jarvis is good.
I
at
know
that.
where I know where it goes, but we don't have the fuse.
Oh, it's already in.
Oh,
It's
well,
already
that
in. It's
case,
just Trashley was failing the skill checks.
I'll have a look. All right, I'm here from the phone company. I'm here to fix the goddamn phones.
In your speedo.
Dog
Is
It
that
like
the
that.
uniform? Is that the official uniform for your organization?
it says it's not loaded, boss.
Oh, I bet if she couldn't do those things, it keeps the.
Oh, I still have it in my hands.
That'd do it.
Oh, because you have to pass it and then it keeps it.
I forgot to turn it. I thought it would like stay in there. I didn't even realize.
Drop it. Just drop it near it. Like drop it so that Pip can
I'm
get
about
it.
to. Well, I'm gonna drop it where I die here.
Just drop it now and then run away.
Okay.
Actually, I think you should try installing it. I really think you should try installing it.
Trashley
Well, I
put
have
it down and
I have
ran
like
off.
20 skill checks.
She's on Pit
so-
now.
Kiki. Yeah. Kiki knows.
Yeah, where's the house?
I don't know where it is.
You see where that key is dropped? The house to the west of it.
Got it.
And I'm gonna come help you with my machete as soon as I walk there.
Watch out, Pib! It's him! It's the killer! He's back! You trip. I love the trip. Oh, wow.
It's in.
Ooh,
Paul! Paul,
right
Trashley!
mosquito.
It's probably on the other wall. Like on the other side of there. Next to the other door, probably. Oh, it was
You
next
walked
to
right
your
past
door.
it.
Turn around, Trashly.
I just need a lock.
Not the emote before the shot.
Wow.
I've played a video game a toll in my life.
He like wiggled.
The way the message has to
Yay.
be so long.
I like how
Did you
they're-
hear me? It's Jason. It's
no,
Jason.
He's screaming, and then if you get interrupted, they're like, "Well, they must
have
not
been a
be a
fake
big deal."
call.
Wrong number.
Oh no, this loop isn't working anymore.
Shoot!
Oh! Well, on the bright side,
Oh,
Kiki
I
would have shot you, and it would have killed you anyway. So
We only
Yeah,
have
I was
4
trying to be
minutes
really
left.
careful.
I would have loved that. Well, at least I left a beautiful corpse.
Trashly's at the cafeteria. Oh.
This man loves jumping through a window. Like, I stopped.
Tom Matthews lives to that.
what are you doing to the microwave, Trash?
Oh my god, she fucking brought
Are you
her.
putting in a
You
burrito?
Trashly,
Run, Kiki! No!
We got this. We got this.
Through the window and then heal. Ooh. Oh, you did that. Wow.
So there's another key.
Trashly, I would just try to live for maybe 3 minutes or so.
It's a long time to live.
Yeah,
honestly.
just live.
That's a lot.
Look, I'm sure all of that experience playing Dead by Daylight has trained you to play a game where the killer can mori you at will.
Not this half in the window situation.
Mm-hmm.
Little fire.
Also, I love the picture you gave me. It's really good.
Yeah, wow, that's so accurate. It's truly stunning. Grandma with a gun. Inspiring, really.
You young whippersnappers, back in my day, this game only had 4 colors and you died instantly.
Well,
Trashly, run!
you got this, Trashly, you got this.
Do you have decisive strike?
I don't anymore. I used mine. The fuck is he?
He could be anywhere.
Well.
I cannot last till these police.
Isn't stamina great?
I tried.
Gagged him a little bit.
Well,
should have stayed by a house.
Maybe so.
Music gets so loud.
I'm back.
Yay! That was fun.
I only got to kill 3 people.
I think you did good though.
And 2 of them were me.
We happened to
I
fix up the car very fast.
Yeah, you did.
GG's.
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 Trashly yelling, "They're getting away in the car!"
Trashly will do anything to live.
Oh my goodness.
Does anyone it's still up to fate? Probably. Are there any requests for level of choice?
Anything but part 5.
That's the Jarvis house, right? We did that earlier while I was the killer. It was not.
No, that's Pinehurst. Pinehurst is the worst.
Oh. I think we should see Higgins Haven Small. We have not seen that yet. That could be a nice little
think it'd
wild
be
card.
nice.
A nice
be
cozy
really
place for being ritualistically murdered en masse. I
Why
love that.
not? Why not? You know?
Why not?
Also, special shout out to Eval Queen getting in drag on her day off. Is anyone else doing drag on their day off? Somewhat a day that they would not normally stream or
I'm doing
be on
drag
camera?
on my day off.
Thank you so much, Joystick, everyone.
Could have been a day off
No,
for me.
Hebe. Thank you, Hebe.
I don't stream on my day off, but I am drinking, so that part is still accurate.
Oh, cheers.
Love that.
Happy Friday the 13th.
Woo!
Yes.
Open Milk said pine worst. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I also love that. Leave my font as Arial. That's perfect.
Dola
Like the
made
mermaid?
beautiful, beautiful
Grapefruit.
nameplates, and you know she's a busy woman, and I
Tastes
did what I had to
rotten.
when we had to pivot and we had to figure it out. You know, woo.
Wish.com Queen Pib is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Old lady with a gun.
Hebe should be Comic Sans though.
That's fine.
She's a comic. She's funny.
I want to be Papyrus.
Damn it, I wanted to be Papyrus.
Also, that's a good way to get banned in multiple people's channels, Killer Snake too.
Oh, I didn't see it.
They were complaining that they were banned in somebody else's.
Well, never a good
Not
look.
problematic.
That's not.
Keep the nice vibes.
Oh.
No drama unless you're a stream queen fighting another stream queen within a game. Like, you know.
Jason is
Ian
kind of,
Trashley and I and many others
you know,
have done.
That's
He's
not
kinda-
Jason. That's a phony. a big fat
Did
phony.
anyone else get away?
That's true. Who is it?
It's
What?
Hebe again.
It's Hebe? Well,
Good luck.
Are you Jason preferred?
might be. Oh, keys.
They're already here.
Oh no, run away.
Oh yeah, if you're Jason, you always check the big house here first.
Always. Pig saves.
Just keep finding useless little tapes.
It's such a shame that this game is gonna die, but at least it has the bot mode so we can relive the memories.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could do private servers.
Maybe there were fan mods and stuff happening, but they got shut down like DMCA'd. I wonder if maybe it would be more of a possibility since the game is no longer, you know, focused on featured, you know, profitable.
I miss my shirtless Johnny that finally got taken away.
I know. Poor Johnny. Wearing clothes.
I didn't really set that great.
I found a Pipisi. I go to the barn.
Is the bat the most powerful or is axe better?
Oh, there's nothing in the barn right now, dear.
Oh.
I found the fuse. Tell me where it goes.
Sometimes it's in the main house. It was not at where was I just now? It's not at Evergreen.
I feel like
that I
axe would
saw.
be better.
You'd think
Jason's
that-
at the big house, but I'll attempt to have a look.
Oh dear,
calling
did you
the
turn
police.
Did you turn off friendly fire? I fear I'm
Fuck,
too late.
I forgot.
Oh, whoops.
I found gas in the barn. Who's the
I just
fake
saw
that told me
Nicole's
not to look
message
in the
who
barn?
reminded me.
Okay, I called
I think that was
Bonnie.
Hebe.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to check the big house anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm by a car.
I'm taking the gas to Stillwater.
That's where I am.
Yay.
Nothing here. I've opened more empty drawers.
Oh my gosh, Chalora is raiding our Stream Queens
Yeah.
channel. Hi, Chalora.
Hi, Chalora.
Woo, thank you for the raid.
And when I free balled at the gym,
You had fun.
I don't do that, but
I've got battery and gas beside me. I'm at the car.
Is Eve really getting killed just so I can sit here and dance with my flashlight?
Yeah, I just got killed. I thought you were gonna come out because I was trying to.
No, I'm waiting
Like,
for
the
I'm
shots.
waiting for Hebe to step in that thing.
Oh wow.
it's a shame they won't add dances to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Have they said they won't?
They said they're gonna keep it true to
Got
the
it.
IP, so
That's unfortunate to hear.
I don't think there's anything in here.
If we can put a battery into the blue car, I have keys. Are you sure you checked every nook and cranny?
You know, not really. I'll recheck
I'll
this
do a
other
once
one.
over just to make sure. And if there is a
I've-
battery, I will
I've been
scream
known to
at you.
overlook things.
If anyone has a key, yellow car is ready. Or blue car, sorry.
Blue car is?
No, it's yellow car.
Oh.
But it says blue on the map, but it's yellow in
Trashly!
person, you'll find.
Trashly,
What?
can you step into my office?
Was there a battery in there?
Can you step into my office?
I also step into the office.
I said... What?
Trashly, what do you see here?
Don't make me fucking bat you down, bitch.
What do you fucking see here? What is that? Can you describe that?
I don't know. I'm not a car person. I don't know what the fuck
right in
that
the
is.
middle.
I
So you know
think
it's
you
a
put it
car
there.
part.
I
So
think
you
you put it there. I don't even think it was
You
there.
realize that it goes to a car is the truth.
You put
Here.
it there.
I am
And
looking
I
at the
am
camping.
better.
Get something done, you bitches.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Trashly.
Stop
Come here.
yelling
Come
at
here.
me.
Come-
Stop yelling
You're
at
barfing
me.
into your hand. Are you okay?
Stop yelling.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I thought I was crying.
No,
Sorry.
That's barfing into your hand, and it sort of makes me.
Just stop it. Just stop
sort
all of this.
Were you flirting with me? Listen.
Swing your bat. Swing your bat.
He's on me now.
Oh, let's just go. We could do this.
Okay, come here though. I want to just say I'm sorry for yelling. There was a battery in here, but I know that you were under a lot of stress. I know that there's a lot going on at work, and I feel that you... Can I please look at you? You keep pushing at me and I turn around. I feel like you have a lot going on and I understand where you're coming from. And there was a battery in here, but I would never hold it against you because at the end of the day, you're my sister. And that's why I dance with you.
Thank you.
And now that 5 minutes have passed, I think that Queen Pip
Can we go
told
to the
us
blue car?
to go to the blue car.
No, not again.
I'm just standing here at the blue car with my axe waiting for you.
Okay. I'm a huge idiot, but I'm just gonna stuff this in and
Leave.
hope for the best.
It's fine.
Everyone's telling me to kill deer with my bat. I could never.
Trashly, what do you mean?
Because she has too many health.
I
health
do. I
sprays.
have 4 health sprays.
She always has so many.
Please understand.
That's
that
why I said I could
have a
never. I
million-
literally can't.
I have a million skill checks here. I am curious.
Well, I'm very bad at them.
I'm curious if you hit me with the bat now, if I'd be knocked out of this.
No, I don't want to do that.
Kiwi's on me.
Well, that's good because it's finished.
Here, got it.
Into the car, please. Once I start it, apparently this car does not unlock unless it's on, which seems like a weird feature.
It's a
but-
safety mechanism.
It's.
I've shot Kiwi
we have
twice.
room
Oh,
for
here's
one
Eve.
more. One more. Whoever gets
Eve,
here.
get in.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, Eve just killed somebody.
Well,
Let's go.
With
Eve-
Tommy.
Why'd you kill Kiki?
Wait, who did I kill?
I think
That was
Pip?
Pip.
Kiki.
That was Pip.
I thought it was Keith.
That was Pip?
Pip is
we'll
dead.
settle this.
So
That was Pip.
So you're gonna shoot me if it was actually me?
Wow, Eve was trying to shoot Kiki, but hit Pip
Wow.
instead. The drama.
No, I'm first girl. I'm always first girl.
Get me out of here before she kills me too.
Before Eve shoots us all in the head.
There was only one spot left.
It's
There
true.
were 2 spots.
And I died
no, there was
immediately
only one
defending.
spot.
There was
Pip.
one.
I've never seen that last
Oh.
one.
Because it was you and Carrie and I was driving, so we had one spot.
This is what we get for looping for so long. We both end up dead.
Wow. Hi, Phoebe.
I've never seen that last
I respect the
one.
decision now more now that I know there was only one spot left.
Hebe, you missed a little bit of drama. There was a race
Oh,
to the
no.
last spot in the car, and Eve happened to have a gun, and Hib never saw it coming.
Oh.
I thought I got sideswiped by
Why'd
the
you
car.
expect
I
it
was
to be
gonna say,
me?
get the license
Because
plate
you
of the car.
drove off on your own in your Tesla.
I turned that shotgun into a sniper.
That was autopilot, and
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm ready to go again.
Turn off friendly fire.
Wait, Hebe, do you have yourself set to Jason preference?
No, I just have it at random.
I have it neutral as well. Does anyone else have it neutral?
I think I'm set to neutral.
Okay. As long as there's at least a little bit of a pool for a randomness.
I don't think friendly fire matters if you point a shotgun at someone. I'm pretty sure back before they added that, I've shot people just for fun.
Did you turn off friendly fire, dear?
I'm doing it right now. Pip talking about shotgunning people dead. I'm like, oh, I should turn that off. Yeah. You can turn pocket knives off. That's wild.
Also, I liked, I don't know who it was, but somebody was running to a window and I made sure they got through it.
I said, please put me through that window. First girl, not final girl, first girl.
Wows.
Horse girl?
First.
Oh.
Horse?
So, tell me about your looks.
Vexen says, "Duff, turn friendly fire off if you're dressing as Bunny Fung." Around here.
I would shoot her, yeah.
I'm the bunny girl.
Oh, are you? You're Deborah? Deborah.
Turn friendly fire back on, dear.
I'm just the ego.
What? Turn it back on? Okay, and I'm gonna get a gun.
Just immediately hunt the rabbit.
Wait, where'd Gigi go?
Gigi, I hear, is not there at the moment.
Gigi had a PP?
Is that not her in the background?
Oh!
That is her. Oh, wow. She switched to a brown. Wait, she switched back? Wow.
Wow.
She does it all.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Milkshake is snoring.
Oh, milkshake. Oh, rain. It's raining.
Fifth Hebe again. I think Hebe's game is set to. Who has the retro?
Oh, no.
Usually Deer's retro, but she's not. Who
No,
is
Eve.
it? Trash
the retro. It could be
I think
Carrie,
Eve's
it could
the only
be
retro.
Hebe.
Oh, it's me.
It's not me.
Have fun, Eve.
Oh, I'm hot.
Love you so much.
Well, it's been nice living.
I love the music though. Let's kill her.
No. Trashley, you're sick. You are ill.
You're supposed to check the big house first. What the fuck are you doing here?
I will sacrifice myself to do a Jason kill round because I've never seen it.
I'm listening.
For our last match of the evening, I would like to have a silly round where we just try to get the kill because it can still be challenging.
Well, you kill me though.
Where
That's
you can
completely
actually
different.
kill him.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it's wild.
Okay, so in DB, this is the part I'm supposed to lay down the weapon, I think.
Can't find a weapon.
Looking. I have keys, by the way.
There's a fire poker if all else fails. Right next to the
Nice.
camp. Or not, yeah, that's about it.
What happened to bathrooms?
And
Kevin?
the macaroni pot.
Let me make sure I look on the floor. Oh, I did find the battery again.
Oh, she's here. She smashed it.
Horse theater is on the south side. Battery is nearby.
I'm dropping lots of traps if we want to trap up Higgins Haven.
Absolutely.
I dropped a trap at the front door and I'm grabbing another one.
I got it.
You're gonna want to lock that Pib.
I'm on autopilot, baby.
Oh, this is easy.
I have the fuse.
Only
Nice.
2 skill checks, and I have forever to do them.
Oh yeah, as Deborah, she's the smartest bitch.
Oh no!
ever.
Oh no!
There's
Compared
also
to like,
Daphne.
I think I had like 12 tiny ones the
Nope.
last time I did it.
Were you playing as as Tiffany. She's an idiot.
I don't remember who I was. Because I switched my characters.
Rip. Oh, my head. I deserve that.
Wrench.
I'm just a nerdy girl.
In a bunny outfit.
Just so nerdy.
There were firecrackers and a first aid spray on my body. Hi, Eve.
No, hang on. Am I supposed to say it firecrackers?
Not that. Not the slur.
I'm sorry. Fire, chicken, and a biscuit.
There you go.
The blue car has gas.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm dancing with Eve right now.
If we could get
in the living room, it's nice.
I also have the fuse.
my head off.
Oh, I have gas. Where's the blue?
Y'all
Set
were actually
side.
tearing
Blue car
up the
already
dance
has
floor. It's really nice.
There's been a murder on the dance floor.
I've also got a battery I'm about to put in the blue car.
I'm gonna try to get the.
Eve,
Does anyone have gas for the
I always have gas.
other car?
Yes, I'm on my way to the blue car.
Well, I need
The blue car is the one that has.
I put a battery. I put a battery in
the
the yellow car.
All the blue
Yeah,
all the
it
blue
was
car
nice
needs now
to
is
see.
keys.
I have keys.
Go to the blue car, Trashly.
I would love to see you with the blue car.
Yeah.
I look for the blue car. I'm not too far.
We're dancing. We're dancing. Don't break us up like that.
My keys must guarantee me a spot in it.
Pip, who are you playing as?
Tiffany, duh.
Oh no. That's not.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry. You
require-
want me to do all the work after I got shot last time?
That's fair. Well, if you want to exact revenge, there is a gun in the barn, but I don't think it does damage.
Actually, even I spoke. She gave me plot armor for a little while, so I'm good, actually.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'm doing the fuse.
Is anybody at the blue car? I have keys.
I'm doing the fuse in the house behind the blue car. I'll be with you in just a moment.
I don't want to drive again. I proved my worth.
I think I went to the blue car instead of the yellow car. I can drive.
I'm at the blue
Oh,
car.
please.
I fear that I might be going to the blue car.
Copy on mineral therapy.
Yeah, I'm at the blue car.
Oh, nice.
The police are
Here, Trashly.
The gas that we don't need.
Trashly, pick this up. No,
The
no, never mind.
police, they're coming. You have to be careful.
I'm gonna pick this up.
Pick what up?
Nothing.
It was nice while it lasted.
Are you gonna let me end your?
Yes.
See you next
I will
summer.
never forgive you if you take the keys.
Fix it. I'm out of here.
We're just gonna do a little detour really quick. Just a quick little one. Just
Why?
to set up other players for success, Trashly.
That's really nice.
Don't be fucking rude, okay?
Okay, well he's right here, so I
Okay,
think
well-
right now you're being kind of rude.
Yeah, maybe.
He's over here dancing on her own.
She didn't turn it off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oop.
Oh no.
Well,
Please stop the car.
I'm being grabbed! Someone attack her! Help! Help me!
It won't let me.
I don't have a weapon.
Attack!
I don't have a
I can't-
weapon.
It's not letting me use my gun.
You're welcome.
Holy shit.
Please stop what you're doing immediately. Who's this? Oh wait, is that
Eve,
Pip?
it's me. It's me. Your dancing partner,
We
please.
did have a dance partner.
I literally
you.
can't use my flare gun.
Did you drop it? Did you get attacked?
There we go.
Trashly, get to the yellow car.
Oh, not me.
Where did Deer go? Did she
Trashly,
die?
get to the yellow car, you stupid fucking bitch.
I'm getting in the blue car.
Do you even have keys?
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Oh god.
Oh no.
Yeah, I put traps there. I did.
Dear help.
I put traps there.
Oh my god, Carrie!
I think you killed me as I was
Oh,
being
whoops.
killed.
Oh, I am in the water.
I was led astray by Deer.
I was
Used as
trying to
fodder.
help you.
I was doing well until you told me to go to the car where I was trapped and then killed.
Yeah, but
I have bad
there's
news
an
about the blue
open
car.
spot for you, and you could have gotten in.
It was trapped.
I was
You'll
trying my
find.
best. I'm sorry. I take responsibility for you.
Oh,
walking
I'm
into
coming
the trap.
back. Wait, Deer, come pick me up.
Where are you?
I'm Tommy.
Where are you?
I'm at the graveyard.
Okay, go to the road. I'm near the graveyard. Please get into the car with me.
Wait, there's an open spot. You just passed me.
Wait, where are you?
I'm inside this house you just passed. Right behind you.
Oh yeah, Trashly, get to the blue car. You're fine. You're
what?
The blue car is in the river.
Someone get in.
It is not
in the
It's
river.
not currently accessible.
What
I
do you
might
mean
have.
it's in the river?
You know what?
Listen, I might have panicked a little after I ran Trashly over and drove it into the river.
I respect that.
How
That's
do you not do that?
As the kids would say, valid.
You bet.
What?
I see you
You
driving
actual
away
bitch.
without me.
The way I sat at that exit for 3 minutes, just waiting to see if the cops would show up, and what do?
The cops aren't coming, honey. I saved you. I saved you all the trouble.
Well, they're not coming now, are they?
No, they're still coming.
I hope it's on this
they are
side.
coming,
If it's on the other
They
side,
are. I said about 4
Oh,
times.
that's
that
so
I called the
crazy.
cops.
gonna be so depressing.
Oh my. Pib, I want to formally say I'm sorry that I ran you over. It's just, I feel like you would have done the same if you could. And if you didn't, then maybe you should have.
That's an awfully contrived sequence you doled up in your head just for this one situation there, boss.
Thank you. I made it myself.
My dance partner betrayed me, and I think that's like very interesting.
It is, it is.
I guess
Trashly,
that
could
was your
you
last
help
dance.
Carrie? Carrie needs protection.
I'm waiting to see
Where
which
is she?
way the cops are going to be.
Carrie is at
I'm
Higgins.
Hopefully
Station.
she's not near any cars.
Well, 5 seconds
She
will
knows
know if
better.
the cops would have been at my exit or not.
I'm at the other one, Pib.
The cops would have been there, you bitch!
It's
Jack.
mine. It's my exit. I'm here to protect.
I'm sorry, Pib. I did it.
Oh,
for
I
the-
can,
for
I,
the
I
laugh.
give, Tommy, you can find my body.
I trip again.
Run.
brain is
Tommy, if you're at the
beautiful,
cop
isn't it?
exit, my body is right there.
Yeah, check out the
Oh.
dead body in the corner to the right.
Dead
To
body.
the right, Trashly.
Is
Yeah,
that a
right
dead
there.
body?
Is
I think we can leave.
Loot them.
That's really nice. So now it all makes sense why the old woman has a gun, because it's pointed at me. Ish.
Mm-hmm.
Not that.
Oh wow. There we go.
I mean, I had the one use gun. I wanted to use it.
You know that running gag in the Treehouse Simpsons of Horror where Willie keeps getting killed in every single one of the stories, no matter which one it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Willie.
Hi, Willie. Do we think one more match and we can kill Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
And-
nice.
I
Not
was
if it's
gonna, I
me,
was
you
gonna
goddamn
volunteer to be Jason, but Pib, did you want to be Jason so you can die every match?
If you pull me as Jason, you ain't gonna kill me.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
Wanna
I
make
can
that
volunteer
abundantly
as
clear.
Jason.
Heard.
No, I'll be Jason so that you can see it for the first time.
Well, don't you see it either way?
Yeah, but you could live it instead of dying and being
you can
murdered.
live, laugh, love it.
Do I'll be the one with the Bugsy or what? Not Bugsy.
So
What's
we
his
just
name?
need
Yeah,
at least one female character, and we need 2 people to die or escape so that Jarvis will come into the match. That's how it goes.
Well, I'm Willie, so I'm 1.
So how do you do it?
So the woman needs to have the sweater from
Sweater.
Jason's shack, and then Jarvis needs to have an axe or a machete. And the woman wearing the sweater also needs a weapon. She uses her sweater. It puts Jason in a stun. They hit Jason so that he falls to his knees, and then you'll get a prompt as Jarvis to do your final attack.
I'd like to wear the sweater.
All right. Sweater weather. Does that shed light
So
on the issue?
I guess 2
or-
people need to die.
Yes.
I'll help break Jason's knees. I picked someone with strength. Don't you have to like hit his mask off first?
Oh yeah,
He
you
does
do. He
have
has
to
to
go
be
mask
beat up
off,
enough
yes.
to have the mask off. Yes.
Yeah.
Knack a knack.
So someone beautifully finds
Call
my
Jarvis.
shack, and then someone call Jarvis. Exactly.
Is the shack always in the same place?
No, I'll tell you where it is.
Now, if you kill the bitch with the sweater, the game goes down in flames. So whoever's got the sweater, I advise you don't kill them.
Oh, I won't.
Just a recommendation.
Thank you.
Did that happen before, Peb?
Yeah, that sounded personal.
That's happened a lot.
Oh, it's happened twice so far, and I'm just guessing it's gonna happen a 3rd time.
Wait, I thought friendly fire was off.
Friendly fire
it
doesn't
should
help
be.
with a car.
Well,
We're
Did
we're
someone
gonna
get run
kill
over?
Jason.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way.
yeah, trash the gun.
Trashley got ran over, and then I ran over Pip.
Oh, betrayal at its
Yeah,
finest.
That's true. I did
you.
kill
On the hill.
So if you look at the map,
Find
the
them,
shack is
Jason.
directly above
Make them
the
pay for
car.
what they did to us.
at Birch
Which-
Ridge. So if you find a
Okay,
map,
first.
Birch Ridge. Directly above the car
Got it.
at Birch Ridge.
I guess I don't really need to search for anything except Jarvis.
You just need to make sure that people have axes and machetes. Those are the important weapons.
Oh, no bats.
Shotgun.
The bat could be
I
good to
approached
drop
the
him,
shop,
but Jarvis needs to have a machete or an axe or more.
I already found a machete.
Cute.
This is the Jarvis place. Or not, sorry, yeah, this is it.
Would anyone like to be killed? I could kill someone.
I'm in your shack. You'll find.
They're trying to take me, Jason.
They're trying to take me, Jason.
Stop them.
Stop them.
This is a nice sweater.
It's interesting. You have no pants on?
All right, we've called Jarvis. We've got the
Oh,
sweater. We need to find machetes and axes.
What does Danny's rainbow have to do with this?
Here, where are you?
I'm at my shack. I'm getting close
They
with
want
Gigi.
to hurt you, Jason.
That's
Don't let
nice.
them.
Oh, do you mind if I?
We need to get your
use
mask off.
Yeah, I'll go to the main
Toilet.
building.
Thank you.
I'll go to pack a snack.
I don't
Does anyone have any snacks here?
Oh, here we go.
Can someone turn on the radio so we can have a nice jam?
A lovely copyright infringing jam.
Yeah, on the Stream Queens channel, why not?
I turned off copyright music. Okay, let's get this off.
Okay, I found a machete.
From me, Jason. Don't let them.
Here, don't kill me, because
Can
I
you
want to
change
see
the channel,
this.
Trashly?
And I found a radio. Oh wait, no, that's a battery.
Is that, how do you change it? Did I change it?
No, I don't hear anything coming out. Maybe
My bad.
Jason can't hear the music. Period.
I
Turn
turned
on
off
the radio
copyright
and the
music,
radio just
so
goes,
I don't
"I'm
know.
gay."
I just hear static, even though my copyright music is on.
Very nice,
They want
Kiki.
to hurt you, Jason.
Oh, mute
He's so
copyright
mad.
music.
The way he looks, he's like,
No.
You really have to hit him a lot. Let me find another weapon. Can you take over?
Yeah, but I'm gonna find something other than an axe because we're gonna
Carrie,
need
is
axe,
is
right?
the music playing for you?
It is.
I only hear like
I just hear
But I also hear
static.
you're like chasing
horror
Yeah.
films.
Get up, Jason. Find them.
It's the
Kill them.
summer of hate. I wish I could hear it. Damn. Maybe if I like leave and then come back.
Was everybody over here
Hold
beating
on a
the shit
sec.
out of deer?
Maybe I have
I'm
to
looking
get out
for
of the
another
range
weapon.
and then come back. It just sounds like static. It's so sad.
The music can't be heard
I
by
don't like
people who
You
Lachetta.
probably
invite
have
people over.
copyright music on.
I don't like I did.
Jason. Find them.
Do we have a
Kill
Jarvis
them.
yet? Or do you?
Two
wanna
people
kill
need
me
to
so I
die.
can-
Are you volunteering?
The mask come off.
I am. Go for it. I deserve it.
I'm gonna hang you
After
out.
the attack's over. Oh, okay. Well.
That's nice.
Trashly, it's your turn.
Wait, no! Don't kill me.
Okay.
They want to hurt you, Jason.
I want to see this.
Okay, Kiki, are you available?
Fucking rude.
I'm beside you, yeah.
Are you available?
Trashly, I'm trying to kill LaChappa.
Oh, I was trying to get your mask off.
Well, you have time for that. Okay.
You can never
me-
die.
Hello?
I've never seen this kill.
Okay, let's put this
Can you
here.
put him on the wall next to me?
There we go. Perfect.
It really was the summer
Too
of heat.
hot.
Summer of heat, truly.
Summer of heat.
Dinner served.
You smell that? Okay, everybody
Dear.
hit me. Hit
I'm
my
gonna
mask
hit you.
off, please.
That's my special boy.
Oh, wow. Oh, there I am.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're smiling.
I'm beautiful. I'm stunning,
Oh.
truly. Someone pick up the
Gorgeous.
mask. Someone wear the mask, please. Fox. Okay.
How do I wear it?
You
Have y'all
can't
called
actually
Tom
wear
yet?
it.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I did.
I know, it's a cheat, right? Okay, so now we just need Jarvis.
Oh, it's me.
Ms. Kiki Powers.
Did you
I'm
spend
wet.
Tommy like
I'm
7
slick.
seconds tonight?
And so we need Tiffany with her top, and then we need Jarvis. And the way that it works is
The
Tiffany
music.
stands in front of me, she uses her sweater, then she does one hit on me with her weapon. I'm dropped to my knees, and Jarvis uses a machete or an axe to deal the killing blow.
Does somebody
Pressure.
specifically be wearing the mask?
No.
Can you
it
say
doesn't
that
matter.
again? The music is flourishing.
So Jarvis and Tiffany wearing the sweater have to be present. Okay. My mask is off. Tiffany
Unreal.
uses her sweater. It stalls Jason. He's become entranced. At that moment, once you're out of it, you hit him as he's stalled. He will drop to his knees, and then Jarvis attacks and does like I can't recall if it's a prompt or if it's just an attack, but Jarvis will deal the final blow.
So who hits
Hear your
him
mother laughing.
the first time?
Tiffany here.
Holy shit!
Eve does.
But to get him down to his knees.
Should Tommy need
Gigi
to-
does.
Tommy needs-
Okay, wait, so what do I do to activate her?
So both of you get in front of me.
Need this?
Yep. And then don't do it yet, but you should have a prompt on your UI where you can use the sweater. On the controller, I believe it's Y. But she'll start
Okay.
talking, and then Jason will halt. He'll be like, and then you attack him. And then Jarvis afterwards with a machete, or yeah, you've got a machete. Perfect. Should work. Whenever you're ready, Gigi.
It doesn't give me the prompt.
Hang on, should we do this outside? It's a little cramped in there. You might screw it up.
Into the rain. It's some sort of prompt on your screen.
Hang on a second, though. Not everyone's there yet. You got to give me a second. I'll be right
what
down.
It is for keyboard.
Don't you have to attack him first?
No, it's during. It's like during the freeze.
Hang on just a second.
Oh
I see the triangle coming.
I like how we're all just standing around.
no. Gigi and Kiki, please get inside in case there's danger. Trashly, will you approach me?
Oh.
Why?
I just want to look. I want to see what your shirt says.
No. I want to see this.
Watch out, Trashly! You missed me.
Who says you're the target?
Queen Pib wanted us to die, so we couldn't do it.
You missed me.
Oh wow.
He picked Jetson on top of the car.
On the car? Oh my god.
Ugh.
I'm out of here.
All right, back into the house. Gigi, you're not having any prompt?
No, no prompt.
I think he has to be stunned first, right?
No.
Maybe.
Everyone run in, the car's off.
Maybe look at, like, Google it. Like, how do you use the sweater as counselor?
I thought he had to be stunned and then you use the sweater.
No, the sweater stuns him. Some people use it just as, like, a safety guard. Like, if Jason attacks, you can just use the sweater. And you have to, I believe you have to wait until, like, the
Is there a way
safe
for me to
stuff.
drop the mask so Jarvis can pick it up?
Yeah. It's a regular item. Hold
Come
Z,
get me.
I think. Or press Z.
Yes. I don't have a Z.
Oh, you're on a controller?
Oh,
Oh, it's
yeah.
down. Just tap down on the D-pad.
Okay, Jarvis, I dropped the mask.
Does anyone know the controls for the sweater? I don't. use
Instruction
keyboard.
manuals
I can
outside.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it, Trashly.
The shark from Jaws is trying to get into the house.
Well,
I've got it.
okay. So Jarvis, be very close.
All right, we ready?
Oh, you got
Yeah.
it? Okay.
It started.
Whenever you're ready. Music.
The car.
Are you ready? Jarvis, are you ready?
There it is.
Yep, yep. Yeah, they hit him now.
Hit him.
afterwards.
Hit me, Gigi. Jarvis,
Jarvis, kill
it's
him.
your turn. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Carrie in the back.
I've
Everybody
never
start
seen
doing
that.
emotes. Start dancing.
It was this moment when I wanted Taco Bell.
Everyone's crying. Oh, because Eve's in a trap.
Eve's in a trap.
The panic.
This is so funny.
the honking. The spotlight of the car on Jason's dead body.
I'm dancing in the corner.
That was really nice.
We did it.
Good job,
We
y'all.
did it.
Yeah.
We killed Jason and the game.
Pip
I broke
actually
the
almost
board.
did get me by like 0.5 seconds. I was on the board.
Almost
Shame.
got Trashly too. Yeah.
I broke the horn in the
I wouldn't have
car.
talked to Pip for
Harry the One is hung.
a year,
Hung.
an entire year.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here.
I'm not gonna hit you, Trashly. I'm just gonna hit Deer.
I
And
still,
whoever had the sweater.
You missed me.
I still have not talked to Portia Gay since the last time we played.
Oh my god. Trashly never forgets. She'll never forget if you're
No.
45 minutes late or if she hits you with a car. Or if you hit her with a car. You know, you'll be
Yeah.
hearing it for the rest of your life. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining
Yeah,
us
that was so
for
much
a final
fun.
Friday.
Absolutely.
Friday the 13th, y'all, is a beautiful, fun game with friends, and it is completely leaving all storefronts at the end of this year, and this was the last Friday the 13th of the whole year. So get the game if you like the game, but, you know, don't hold your breath that it'll still even function in like a few weeks to a year. Thank you
2
so
weeks.
much.
It's a goddamn miracle. It runs right now.
May I say a couple words?
Yes, Hebe.
So when I first joined the team, Friday the 13th was like the first big event I got to do with the team. And I've somehow made it into most of them since then as well, so it was very nice to be part of this final one, even though I wasn't originally.
Yay!
So I'm glad I was here.
Thank you. That's really, really nice. Special shout out to Joystick and Nemesis who weren't able to. They had to go. But yeah, this was so much fun. Thank you all so much. Do we have any last words or anything you'd like to say?
Dick
Friday
Sissel.
the 13th came in and said Jason lives in my chat. So he didn't die.
Oh, Jason, he's back?
I think he's back.
Wow. Well, I want to, just as the closing ceremony, I want to watch a clip with the community, and y'all are more than welcome. I put it in the chat within our voice call. If you'd like to click on the little blurb, you could get the video ready to watch it yourselves. But we're gonna watch it and enjoy it. This is one of my favorite moments of this game. Are we ready? Does everyone feel ready? Does everyone have
Wait,
the
let
link?
me open up the. I'll watch it on Stream Queens.
You'll watch it on Stream
Give me
Queens?
Yeah.
the channel. Yeah.
Oh,
We'll just
cool.
Open up the channel, co-stream, and then hold on. Give me like. one
Yeah,
more
no,
second.
take your time. Take your time.
You could take up to 45 minutes.
It's about 5 minutes, I think, total. But it's make sure that you open. If you're opening the link, it has a timestamp. So just make sure that you notice the timestamp.
No, that's not right.
And we'll go to. Leave.
There. I'm gonna mute and deafen so I can watch this.
Sure. Yeah. And all y'all are here in the call, so feel free to commentate if you'd like. And we're gonna watch this beautifully together as a family. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be a little bit. I put the timer to 10:02. I had to slightly move it in that link that I shared. If you want to move that as well, and then I can count it to play.
I don't see a link.
It's in the voice chat. Like if you go to our call, there's the little like comic book speaking bubble, and that's the voice chat to this call specifically.
In the top right.
I only see the one that Nem posted.
That's the one.
Oh, okay.
That's
I don't see a timestamp though.
Artist formerly known as Doladar.
10:02.
Okay.
Dola shared it? Oh, I need to take your names off real quick. Okay. You have it. It's Dear in the Stream Queens, the best of F13. You can confirm? PP?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I had it muted. 1, 2, 3. I'm playing.
Girl, I'm possessed. Is this what being ghosted is? Hello?
I got an ad. Stop it.
Would you believe that used to be a $40 game?
This was Deer's favorite clip.
Please
Was
hold.
this ad for
Yeah.
these rings she's been trying to sell? She's been selling us.
I'm restart, refresh. Put it at 10:24. Y'all ready? Please confirm.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Pressing play.
Are you serious?
Hello, well, that's hacking. You were hacking.
Wait, is this at the right spot?
Evo, why did you jump out that window?
I don't think I had this ready at the right spot. This is a mess. Where is it?
This is just on brand.
Here it is. I must have put it at the wrong spot. I'm so sorry. Hold on. There we go. It's on Elix. 636. This is the real spot. Okay. Apologies, I messed up the timestamp. I thought I was prepared, but here it is.
Are you gonna drag me?
The last one.
6:36. I'm counting 1, 2, 3.
To drive it, y'all. You were all ready to die with me. Get the fuck in the car, cause I'm inside, bitch, and I'm leaving. If you're late, you're left.
Nemesis.
Oh my god.
I was still playing and I revived as Tommy.
Look at me, I'm so good at this game. The car is blocking us. I don't know where to go.
Drive around it. Oh my god.
I lost 1,000 points.
Did you run me over?
No!
How did I die? Girl, my head blew.
I ran a bitch over.
Ignoring a raid is my aesthetic. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Ethan, Dylan.
I don't have anything to hit him with. Oh my god.
You got in the back seat.
I don't want to hear it. Y'all saw nothing. This is some shit, y'all.
Protect me, I'm starting it.
Okay, back up. Keep stunned. Just back up. I'll keep him stunned. I'm Tommy. I already died. So just get
Move, I need to go around.
Watch out.
Who's driving this bitch?
That's Miss
Oh my god. I'm out of here.
It's the most chaotic thing ever.
There is no room, dear! There is no fucking room!
You didn't turn! You need to turn!
Look at all these fucking signs! Someone used a fucking axe and take this sign down! Bitch, I'm running to Mexico. Fuck America.
Driving blind!
Girl, you're going reverse!
What is happening? My lash is gonna come off from crying so much.
Same, bitch, same. Stop Fuck all these bitches, go no! Fuck all these bitches, go no!
And then she ran her over.
Did she run over?
So good.
Go, just go. Fuck
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Go, just go.
Oh, my face hurts.
Get us out of here. Oh my god, I cannot believe. Y'all, we had room for two bitches who's driving.
Ida was the killer that whole time during all that chaos.
This is too fucking much.
There was a killer?
Where did they go?
Elix's in the car. There we go. That was the clip I wanted to share. I accidentally started at the end, but I thought that was very much worth sharing because that was just the most chaotic. My favorite part.
Very funny.
My favorite part was Cookie Dough just doing her lipstick in a tent.
Wasn't she in the closet?
She was in a tent.
Oh shit.
At the very beginning, if you like watch really closely, she was sort of there at the beginning of all of that happening, but she was like, you know what, that's too much. She like ran off without saying anything and just got in a tent. Chalora was run over. Kiki was run over. Like, it was just the most. It was the best. Thank you all for sharing that moment with me.
It was so fun.
That was nice.
I love this game and I love y'all. Hope you had fun.
Love you.
GG's everyone. We love you.
GG's.
Happy
Long
Friday the
live
13th.
La Choppa.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
See you around.
Bye.
Have fun. Follow all these icons.
I'm Lady Lay.
You're not Lady Lie. Oh, I'm Lady Lie.
I'm
Lady
Oh, you got a license there, Lady Lie.
What?
Happy Friday the 13th.
I'm
Bye.
Lady Lie.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm Lady
Bye.
Lie.
Bye.